back to Metabreak Grid. My name is Andre. How's it going? Tonight it is August the 19th, 2021, year of our Lord. Hopefully you're all doing well. How's everyone doing? It's the beginning of Continentals month. Maybe you tuned in a bit earlier. Here, sorry, I just gotta hit all my buttons and then I can make proper eye contact. How's everyone doing today? Yo, skip on. Early people, welcome. Farmer, hoy hoy, everyone. Isangren, you started right when the LCS ended. Conspiracy, I actually have a contract with the nice people that make League of Legends, and that is by design. Welcome, bot lane. I don't actually know what to say that would be reasonable for League of Legends. How's it going, by the way? John, how are you doing? Mark Andre, how's it going? It's good to see you in person. That's actually been the first time in a long time this happened. Good day, mates. Charles, how's it going? Congrats on your the APAC. That was actually really fun to watch. Hey, Andre. Hey, Stream Folks, Solomir. How's it going? Today we are playing some Netrunner, the decklist of the week. Why? Why is this the decklist of the week? What am I missing? I don't get it. This is the least excited I've been for a decklist of the week. Maybe this is a bad tone to open on, but did this win something? There's a lot of really cool deck lists today, and that's why that's what we're going to be today, playing some of the cooler deck lists from APAC. And there's actually a lot of some really interesting stuff. I guess we'll play one with this, but I just don't understand how what happens. How does the algorithm work? How is this here? Why is this here? Because it's just an PD deck. It has like 4 likes. Yeah, I know, this is so weird. And I don't mean to, like, I've no doubt this is a good deck. Like, it's probably a great deck, in fact. I just don't get it. But we're going to play it. We're going to do it. You know, it felt like sharing lists leading up to Continentals. Yeah, maybe the timing was just really weird because like now people are posting their Continental lists. So it might have been right at the window, like the Sunday night or whatever, when the deck list of the week gets chosen. I don't actually know when it is. But like since then, bam, you got all this cool stuff to play with if you really just want to net deck stuff, which is honestly, I have no doubt a lot of people just play the game like that. And I think it's a great way to play the game. So, okay. PMK, it's been a slow week. I guess it has. Sorry, Worm. I don't even know what TBD means. I guess to be decided, to be. Nicholas Collins, how's it going? Welcome. Yeah, I think nobody else posted. I've been trying to play Cannon Rush all week and it feeling like an Andre. Yo, we're going to get there. I have that tab open. I'm excited to play this because we actually haven't played Jemison combo kill at all since Neurospike came out. So it's cool. To be determined? Yeah, but I don't know. How's it going, Philip? Let's all pretend Jemison's deck of the week and said, do we just skip it? I need enough support to not play this as the deck list of the week. Because I think if we played it, it would be pretty fast. But we could skip it. I don't know if I said hi, Bull. Hey, Bull. I'll just see how everyone feels. Chris says skip. Okay. All right. Yeah, it would take 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a really fast matchup, right? You're going to break the covenant? I know. I don't like it. I think we have to. I think we only skipped it once so far this year. Skip. Morning, friends. Jingles. How's it going? Good morning. If I queue up 4-1-9 against you, I'm pretty sure the 4-1-9 matchup isn't amazing. It might take longer. Okay, I'm going to do it. Look, I will do it. Do you want to queue up a fun woo list? Yeah, sure. This won't be, it'll be fast. Okay, it'll be fast. We'll see what PD is. I think it's good to play the competitive stuff to know what it can do. We haven't played PD on this channel in a long time. Don't hate me. I think this will be fine. It's already loaded up into Keyhole, which is like half the reason, because then we don't have to do anything. Jokes on 419, I've had enough of it from APAC. 419 was the most represented runner by a mile, I'm pretty sure. I need to look up the stats. It's a fast deck, it can just do one, it's okay. Yo, Andrew, yeah, exactly, right? Right? Ocean, I mean, you could do one. Yeah, we'll do one. We'll see what it does. So this list, I don't think it's anything that spicy and different from some of the old PD lists that you might have seen. I think the two big differences are, if you haven't seen it so far, is that these lists haven't gone to Tranquility Home Grid as of late as a way to get the card draw back into it, because this deck lost Violet level clearance. Tranquility Home Grid is a card that gives you econ or card draw. And I think that's largely it. PD is still just pretty good at an ability, gets your seamless launches back. Oh, I thought, excuse me. Sorry, Sangren, if you're queuing up, I goofed that. That's actually on me. Finally able to catch a stream. Greetings from Italy. Yo, welcome. How's it going, Flexandro? Welcome. Glad you can make it. I know we don't stream at the best time for Italy or Europe in general. This hand seems good enough. Ken's going to be running a lot of run events. We're looking at a 49 card deck. Wait, 48 card deck. It's nice to have some end the run on HQ. They're probably playing Diversion of Funds. On top of that, other run events. I'm actually pretty sure we're going to see like double or triple Maker's Eye. So having an ice on R&D is also pretty good. I don't love putting a border control on R&D or on HQ. Drafter's probably the best on R&D, and then maybe we do border control HQ. Could be even the Ken deck from APAC. I actually don't know what the Ken deck from APAC is. I don't think I saw one. It's 3 a.m. doing great. 3 weeks vacation from work. Starting now? Because congrats, enjoy your vacation. Yo, Europe just has way better vacation stuff than we do here. And you also have better stuff to do on your vacation. Go to Slovenia. I'll not spoil it. Okay, sick. Is it 48 cards? Okay, so we're going to open here. We have a Monogram, which is good. We have the Seamless. I think we're just going to set it up so they can't get a lot of value from the run events by icing up everything that we want to. So I guess we're going to put this on HQ. We can always pop this during an important run event, but it's kind of rough to res this. I don't know. A lot of times you like this on your remote server. That being said, we do have Anoetic Void, so it might not be as important. Already past 2 weeks. Okay, well, still 1 week vacation. We won't count this 2 weeks. No one spoil the Ken deck. So they're just running here for single axis. I think there's only one bad axis here, which is Managarm Skunkwork. So I'm not actually that interested to res here. It's a 1 and 3 that were punished. They're not playing a run event. They're not getting any credits. They hit a Seamless launch. So they know we have that. That'll change a bit how they play. But I don't want to run this because as soon as we res this, they'll know what they need to break in. What sort of breaker. It's more likely than anything they'll boomerang this. So another problem with Ken is that they're very likely to have inside job. So having a Brawn in front of a Monogram is a nice start, but I'd want a second ice in front of this and the second ice that we could res as well. So I don't know. I don't actually have that much. Oh, that's good. Do new credit, and then we can do install advance on this next turn, and then if they inside job it, then we're okay with that. That deck played a spicy Anar console, so maybe we have something more normal. Yeah, this looks normal so far. Swift, I think Swift is okay. I think Swift is basically akin to Anacom without paying influence in Ken, assuming you're playing a run event a turn. I honestly don't mind it. Right? Because Ken wants to play at least one run event a turn, so you're playing a 5-click runner. You can always just draw a card. Yeah, there you go. So that's a jailbreak. So now we'll res here. We want to stop that. It gets a card draw. This, we get our credit and the run, and now they know what they need to get in. How's the Netrunner community doing these days? Nicholas, it's really good. Nisei put out a really good welcome, like new. Oh, I like this play a heck of a lot. So if we res this, we actually deny the credits. I think we're going to do it. Unfortunately, we don't have the first subroutine. We're going to fire these. Oh, because can't click through any of them, so they do lose the money. The set's been good so far. The new set's been good. We're in the middle of Continentals, so Nicholas, there's a lot of stuff to participate in, and there's a lot of like organized play, which is really good. We can do install advanced credit. Hopefully they inside job it. I think I'm okay with that. This looks like an NGO front though, because we would not be scoring here. Oh, this is actually really good. We'll pop this, res this, fire these subroutines. Now also, so what can we do? What are the subroutines on here? You may add one card from archives to HQ. So we'll add this, and then you may install a card. So we'll put this in server 1 again. All right, that worked out well for us. There's a fun AMA by the lead designer in GLC today. Continentals is going well, and there's a lot of Netrunner content being made on a weekly basis. I did not know that there was what's it called? An AMA. Is there anything specifically worth noting? Yeah, there's a lot of good content, that's for sure. We largely just stream here. This singer makes a lot of good stuff. I'd have drafted a sandbox into remote. If we do that though, we can't score it out, right? And I'm worried about this sort of thing, like the inside job, which, you know, maybe that was a reason not to do it. I'm so terrified of scoring behind a single ice for a deck that definitely has 3 inside jobs. But now they're spending 1 just getting down our NGO front, which we're pretty okay with. And next turn we could do credit hedge fund. And then once we get the border control on the remote with the Managram, I think we'll score from that point on. I think we also want to double ice HQ. It's either Gatekeeper on the remote or Gatekeeper here, and I think I'd rather have the border control on the remote. So if we do credit into hedge fund, we're weak to like diversion, boomerang. So the other option is to put a Gatekeeper on HQ, and next turn we could do. It's a bit tricky, but I don't love hedge funding here if they do boomerang into diversion. So I think we're going to play a bit slow and just put this on HQ. Maybe I'm playing this too defensively. Streamer equals you. Thanks, Flexandra. I appreciate it. June answered a fair amount of design questions. Confirmed that you're looking at a 1 cycle plus something else every year. Oh, cool. Does that include this year? What's the best way to stay up to date with news on Nisei? I would go to nisei.net, which they basically post articles there consistently. You can read more into our blog, and they'll have all their content. They talk about the formats. You can buy all the products there. That's the best way. About Slovenia, sorry, 1 second. I'm just gonna do my turn before I check out on that. I'd rather score the off-world sooner. So we can do credit. We can do hedge fund install. We might want to go a bit slow here. They only have 2 credits. So the inside job, we could do credit. I think we do monogarm into this. So they could have exactly the inside job. This is a bit risky. If we wanted to play a wee bit slower, I think we'd put a second ice here. I'm hoping the monogarm does enough to disincentivize the inside job, but they could inside job click 1 would be a problem. About Slovenia, I live in Friuli, the region just next to Slovenia. I talked with other Italian players and want to ask if you want to come in Italy, where you'd be able to make the trip to Slovenia for your parents. Organize a kind of reunion with Italian players and best streamer here. That is so kind. It's a bit hard to travel right now. I think last time I was in Slovenia was Christmas season of 2019, and it's definitely something I'm interested to return to whenever I can. The country is absolutely lovely. I appreciate it. Thank you. There were a lot of things, no spoilers, I think. Okay, cool. Yeah, did Nisei confirm there's another set coming out this year? Or is the meta, like the card meta we're in right now, the card meta for Worlds? We did not disconnect, did we? Promises the next set news soon. Okay, that's good. What's the meta like in Italy? I don't know how many players are playing in Valve soon. We're playing in Slovenia, last I checked. Prepaid voice pad. Okay, so Unity coming down as a breaker, and we are able to score out our off-world office. So we're just going to do advance, and we'll do the perfect precision design trick. I forget we have 6 hand size. I don't think that really mattered. And we'll score this out, and then we'll return. So we'll score off-world. So we're at 9. We can add a card from archives to HQ. So I think it's going to be the seamless because we have another 4-2 in hand. So next turn we can do install hedge fund. That'd be good. Pattern soon. Not even a loose release they're aiming at? No, I don't know. Nothing announced in the AMA, but I'm hoping it's supposedly forthcoming announcement. Okay. Call it the big Wayland slap? What do you mean? All right, so they have 5 credits. They have a prepaid. Again, they want to make run events. They haven't been playing a lot of run events, and I'm expecting, again, still multiple dirty laundries. At this point, they're on 2-2-2. They could be on Hushuk. Bravado seems really good. They're bravadoing just the remote. And if this fires, actually, it's really good for us. I wonder if they're just going to let this fire or they click through the first subroutine. Walrus, does anyone have a link to the AMA? I think it's... Oh, unfortunately, if they go through here, they're not going to be able to trash the Managarm. It's on Discord, yeah. So if we res this... Yeah, they won't be able to trash it. I think they might have expected it to be an Anoetic Void. But now their money's okay. Did they not get an extra click? Or they used it to click through, excuse me. Okay, so I think we'll do border control install hedge fund. The other option is on sell install hedge fund. I like the border control a bit more. The order doesn't matter. And the question thread. I'm gonna go check that out after. I had no idea. That's really cool. I think Nisei needs to continually talk like that publicly to talk about the plans and stuff, because otherwise, I don't know. There's been news with Continentals and balance and rules, stuff like that, but I think a lot of people just want to hear something about a new set. I should bug an Nisei person to thread it. That'd be really cool. Hard-hitting news plus boom is a big thing here. For the meta, most people switch to HB, but not really happy about that. People here is kind of mad about the meta nowadays. It's a bummer to hear. Hard-hitting news and 2 boom will always be good. That's for sure. I think Wayland was the second represented, right? Like at APAC so far, the Asia Pacific Continentals, which was last weekend, HB was by far the most represented, followed by Wayland, followed by like I think 2 or 3 NBN decks, and then 1 Jinteki deck. So the meta does, at least on our early read of it, and seems very, very, very HB. I think it was the most HB, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maker's Eye. Okay, there you go. That's what we were expecting. And that's actually a problem for us, because if they steal some agendas here, we're going to be locked out. Like, they are going to lock the top of the deck. So we need to get an on-sell or something here. Snacking sentries is really good against Bugalter. But this is something that you have to watch out for. And I don't think we'll exactly see it on the basis... Oh, that's really bad for them. I don't know if we'll exactly see this on the basis, because I think the meta decks right now are still just really good and really just flexibly good. As we saw this last year, where the meta between the first Continentals and the last Continentals were significantly different, because each Continental, people tuned their decks in a response of what they saw the prior weeks. So I'm not sure how big of a deal that's going to be. I think we're just going to continue to do Seamless. And now we know the top 2 cards of R&D are known. So we don't really have to ice up R&D, but eventually we're going to have to start clicking to draw, and we'll try and get, I think, an on-sell here. The Magnet doesn't really do much against Unity. There were 3 Jemison, 2 NBNs, and 1 Jinteki. It was a crazy meta. It was really interesting. Okay, they're flushing their mode out here. I actually kind of like this. If we res the border control, it's for 7, so I think that we're going to let them have this. Unfortunately, we could have pulled back our other Monogarm, but we didn't. We still have Anoetics in the deck, and I think a 3rd Monogarm, so I think this is okay that they're going to be spending most of their turn getting through this. Paying probably 2 clicks. And then another 3 to trash this, so that's still a lot of money. I wasn't respecting this card, but I think we should. Rip picking up Seamless, no agendas in hand. No, I hear you, but I still think it's just such a powerful card. And now, yeah, they're absolutely gutted right now. So now we broke our R&D lock as soon as we draw 1 more. So we'll draw 1 more because we get a 4-2, we can jam it. No good. We have 6 hand size. I think putting the brand here is really bad because it's weak to Makers to inside job, but I don't think they're going to inside R&D for a single. So we'll get this on R&D. I'm sick and just typing bonkers stuff. Oh, Beans. I hope you're feeling okay. I think Ed mentioned there's a planned one with the president, but the exact date is still TBT. Oh, of a planned like news thing. I'm guilty of padding that number by bringing Waylon myself. Just finished a 3-hour talk with Koga, Italian champ and streamer, about meta. We were discussing about Audacity problem. I agree to some extent. Audacity is a bit ridiculous right now. Like, there's so many decks that are just playing 3 Audacity, and so many decks that are just scoring agendas out of hand, regardless of board state. And I think that's obviously kind of bad. I'm not a big fan of that, but we'll see how people can adapt to it. I think the biggest issue right now is that there's like the amount of cards that can deal with fast events are very, very narrow. There's not a lot you can do. It's like disruption, economic denial doesn't really work, and clot. So it is actually a pretty narrow pool of cards. I think I want to draw once for an agenda. That's not an agenda. So they're going to try to make Maker's Eye in here. So I think we just want to ice this up, protect it a wee bit. They'll probably click through one of these subroutines. Another drafter is honestly kind of annoying to them because it actually is 4 real credits. I think I'm okay with that on R&D. Vacheron is a huge reason the deck works. I 100% agree. And there's huge variance with the Vacherons. The Vacherons are obviously very powerful. Anytime you play with no real points is a problem. But I think regardless, the fact that like, you know, just Audacity turn 1 out of hand is a good play feels weird. Yo, Green, what's up? Just want to say hi from a currently slightly insomniac EU viewer. Thanks for getting me and my extension and new friends of mine back into Netrunner hype with your very enjoyable content. Yo, Photon, really appreciated that. That's very kind. Glad you've been digging the game. That's very kind. Yo, Cactus, how's it going? It's been a bit. Running doesn't change the FA game plan much, but not running doesn't affect it either. Not running makes your odds of winning way worse. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't love seeing it where it's just like Audacity from hand. Okay, next turn, Audacity from hand. It's just it feels less thoughtful in some ways than I'm gonna just res things here. In some ways, it feels less thoughtful than even the old what's it called, Atlas decks, 10 transnational decks. And I think the fun part of those decks are when like they do combos with Jeeves, but I didn't see a lot of that on the weekend when they do weird Jeeves combos. So here we could res for 6. They'd probably click through it. I don't think we want to spend 6 on this. I think we just want to strand their Boomerang. Power of Vacheron isn't that the corpse scores them. It's the reg decks cannot get them in time. Yeah, no, it's you need destruction. This actually is a new card. Yeah, it's a sandbox. That's a bummer. And not that we wanted to score that badly, but yeah, there's a lot of agendas still in R&D. The ridiculous amount of 3-2s and the way they score them are what does it. Yeah, no, the 3-2s are really good. Ooh, I like what they're doing here. So we could res the Gatekeeper. We'd be down on 6 credits. It'd be 6 strength. They'd actually have to spend a lot of money on it. But then this becomes really low strength. I think we're just going to let this through, and then we'll only res this if they try and diversion us. I think I missed a bunch of stuff on chat. This is that Crisium PD deck. The deck is way strong. Yeah, no, it definitely seems good. Docklands. Okay, cool. I didn't even see what they accessed. Oh, they jacked out. Sick. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. They can't even break this. I forgot about that. It wins by making you steal 3-1s and getting money off extra 3-2s. The deck has so many 3-2s. Okay, so they're boomeranging probably HQ, right? I don't love boomerang last click. It just gives us so much information. I think we're just going to go ahead. Like here, I think they'll diversion us if anything. So I think we're just going to go ahead and install Tranquility Grid, install the MCA and click it. I guess oh, not that. I just want to put the pressure on them to do something. And this actually doesn't do anything the turn it's installed because it eats its own installation. And with this, in theory, we're able to score a 5-3 out of hand if we top deck it. Have they shown any influence? Yeah, they've shown a Maker's Eye and a Unity. Oh, a Diesel as well. So I'm assuming they're a full fleet. I like this. The border control is going to connect and it'll actually give us 2 credits back. So I'm going to go reds as this. I think if they know about this, it does change how they play a bit. But this is going to fire. And that is really good because we res it for 2. I don't think it's definitely not APAC. They're playing like prepaid voice pad and stuff. Like if anything, they might be on Hushuk, but I would really be surprised if it's APAC. It can't win off just that though, Weeble. Good plays can deny them and get them Vastrons, but it can't get the Vastrons by turn 6 reliably. Yeah, the end of the game is rough for them. So we actually could put this in server 1 to make it look even scarier. I think honestly we might want to just put an R&D to make R&D look scarier. So I think we just do install credit advance. Like now it looks like there's a mana garm on there and they have to respect that. I'm not sure how they do that. Our money might be a problem because to score a 5-3 from hand, we need 5 credits. And a single diversion is going to keep us pretty far off of that. The number of accesses the runner gets is so low, it feels bad to steal Vast, sure, but the odds were never on your side to find it anyways. There's only 2 in the modern sports decks, right? Oh, what's this? I think it's the card from, yeah, exactly, Mutual Favor. It's a Corroder. Oh man, that lines up really poorly against Brawn. So this server is cost 2, this costs 4, 5, 6. That's a lot. The problem with sports is that it barely plays ice and it doesn't even play traps like Jinteki, and it's somehow still super powerful. I don't think traps are what anybody thinks a competitive deck requires. And I'm still somewhat super, like I'm only 4 months into learning NR and I thought the game was all about ice and icebreakers, and then that deck blanks all cards I put in my deck and then thought we're going to be impactful. That is like a true thing that happens a lot of times with Netrunner, is that when people see archetypes that aren't, I'm not going to res anything here, that aren't based off of ice and icebreakers, like it really throws them from a loop. And that can build to what people call negative play experience, where it's all like trash, you know, gotta trash all the assets and stuff like that. But I do think it's important that the game is not entirely ice, and it then becomes such a value-based game. Not that it doesn't with assets, but yeah, I don't know. I actually think that's one of the major issues with startup. It only has ice and icebreakers. Yeah, I could see that being a problem. So we can't score this turn, but we can score it next turn, because we can't use Seamless Launch if it's not installed. So we could crack this next turn. If we cracked it now, we could hit it and crack it. I just don't know what the numbers are in this. I don't think we can score a 5-3 this turn. If I'm wrong, I'm super sorry. And now we could actually res this, which eats a boomerang. It's not that good. Brand is 7 with Corroder. Yeah, I'm assuming they won't break the last subroutine. Oh, there you go. That's actually really important. That'll keep him in the game. So I think we res this just so that it eats the boomerang. It's actually really bad after that. Resing this was probably wrong, honestly. Yeah, resing this was confidently incorrect. It buys us a bit this turn, but not much else. Honestly, if we top deck a Seamless Launch, we might pop this just to click for credits. Pre-res CVS. I think us... I don't think the problem is them not getting money from this. I think if anything, we pop the border control here. Right? Like, this is more powerful if they don't know what it is. Might be, if it's double doof, it's really difficult for them because they have to actually break the gatekeeper. I don't know. All good. I've been playing Netrunner paper and hanging out with a lot of really old school NR players, and what is absolutely wild to me is that the game goes through a massive paradigm shift at some point as you improve. Yeah. Oh, you get 4 back. Oh, I forgot I could purge for 4. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's huge. That's actually really, really big. I totally forgot that this is technically an economic card. Ooh, Tranquilizer. I don't think that's going to be good soon enough, though. Unless they, like, drop a black file here. No, so we have it. They got massively few accesses. Like, they just did not get a lot of accesses. Like, we play very good ice. And for a deck that wants to be, like, very run-based, like, they just didn't access a lot of cards. I think they accessed 8 from archives, but if you look at card access, that's 19. So they only accessed around 11 cards. And a bunch of them were HQ where we didn't bother rezzing. So they weren't that valuable, those accesses. But I think there's still a lot of agendas in R&D, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at that. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, the agenda density is actually really low. Shit. Excuse me. All right. Cool to catch a live stream. Sad because I'm back in lockdown. Oh no, Power Guy, where are you at? Oh, I guess New Zealand, right? You guys had 1 case. I guess that's what the NZ means. That y'all had 1 case and you're in lockdown. That's obviously a bit of a bummer, but y'all been handling this seems pretty well, so I hope everything's okay. You get 4 back and also pre-res Tranquility, then you can score out. Yeah, actually pre-resing the Tranquility is smart because then when we jam an agenda on it, we'll get 2 credits. So we only needed 3 credits there. So in theory, if we pre-res both of our things, our upgrades, we'd actually be able to score on 0 credits, right? Because we purge for 4, install, gain 2. Yeah, we could actually let the siphon go through. That's really funny. Jinteki's bad, the meta is bad. Jinteki's really bad right now. At least that's what it looks like on paper, and I think that is true outside of trap decks that might have a spot in the meta. But I think the biggest thing right now is a lot of people are scared to play mid-range Jinteki because it folds to the Virus Anarch deck. And I don't honestly know how popular the Virus Anarch was at APAC. 30 plus now? Oh, bummer. Oh, that's not good. I hope everyone's okay. Beans. Is it the whole, like, all the islands are closed down, or is it, like, regional? Where's APAC? Okay. Let's talk about this a bit. We get a Caprice replacement. It only works in purple. I don't think that's anything to do with the card. It's the fact that Jinteki's ice has been pretty rough. And I think you'd play neutral agendas over their agenda suite anyways, which is going to happen anyways. I don't know. Sengren says, I enjoy beating PD in sports, and I think the matchups are interesting. I think the matchups are interesting. Okay, so if I want to say anything like really sweeping about the meta right now, and like, I think this point has come up over and over again, is like PD is a really strong deck and was an even stronger deck back in the day, but it did line up with the archetype that represents good Netrunner, right? Like, the idea is that it's all about breakers and ice and, you know, defensive upgrades. Like, it lines up with what people think Netrunner should be, but people didn't like it, and I think that's largely because it was 2 reasons. Too good, so it was too ubiquitous, and that's a problem. But I think actually one of the biggest things is how fast it is. And I know we've heard from the Nisei designers that they want to make the game a bit faster. They want to shorten the overall length of games. And I think there's some really good points to that. But I think it really pushes out a lot of players who want to play that slow roll, build up the board state, you know, have time to dirtle around, install all their like cyberdelias and stuff like that. Like, that is a problem. That, like, you need to be very aggressive. Every click matters so much more than it used to. And I think that makes a really skill intensive game, but obviously that does have a huge impact on the amount of cards that are playable. And yeah, so it is what it is. So much Shaper at APAC 2. Yeah, that's pretty surprising. Let's look at these numbers. Modern Netrunner's over by turn 10. Without Matij and Jinteki, nothing that goes that fast. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point as well. Like, it's just too slow. It seems a bit too slow. Look at that poor red sliver. It's one deck. It's one Ag Infusion deck. I think that deck, specifically that deck, did well. And admittedly, like, okay, you'll see this a lot. And you do have to keep this in mind. I'm not poo-pooing on anyone, but when somebody posts their, like, the deck went 4-1, you have to understand what the runner went as well, because if the runner won no games, then, you know, how well the deck did is dependent on how well your runner did too, because that means that you're playing at higher tables or lower tables. Regardless, this deck is probably interesting. Let's talk a bit about this news. The player national breakdown chart Vale put together is cool. Whoa, do you have a link to that? That would be cool. One of the things June clarified today is that she meant games could be finished in a tournament round lunch break more easily. Okay. I think a lot of people took umbrage with the idea that games are going to be 15 minutes. Time for me to go to bed. Have a nice stream. Yo, thanks for dropping by, Flexandro. Aussies love green. Got to play in person for the first time in a while. Played a ton of startup games. Yo, Ma, how'd it go? It's in the linked picture in the ABR. Linked picture in the ABR. Oh, touche. Thank you. All right, so this is the representation of data of nationalities of people who played. And the APAC tournament started at, literally right in front of you. There's a lot of things I'm looking at. Excuse me. This started at a really interesting time because it started around 11 o'clock in the evening for me. So that's 11 o'clock in the afternoon for most people from Australia and give or take New Zealand, Japan, Asia Pacific, the whole area. That makes more sense. But you still had a lot of people playing from like the UK and Europe who had, what time would it be for them? It would be early in the morning, right? Or kind of late at night, however you want to look at it. And so this is actually pretty good. Like it's a pretty good distribution. You see there's a fair bit of people from, how ignorant am I? Do I know the difference between the Australian and New Zealand flag? Do I? What's the New Zealand flag look like? Okay. All right, that kind of lines up. Australia would have another star here, right? So New Zealand is red. Australia is white. Okay. Oh, okay. It's subtle because it's small. So the red and okay, cool. So do I know all the flags? No. Why am I doing this to myself? They knew Vale only did flags so that I'd be ignorant. Okay. South Korea, the UK, Malaysia? Not actually sure. Finland? Canada, Korea. Bulgaria? What is this? Oh my God. This is not a fun game. No, Bulgaria is slightly different. Singapore? No, Singapore is the other one that I thought was Malaysia, right? Vale, you couldn't write names. Okay, that's Singapore. What is this one? That's Hungary. Ah, oh, excellent. Very good. I don't know what this one is. Where's Longi from? This one is Texas, Canada, Finland. Okay, it's cool. I don't know what some of these flags are, but it's actually pretty good distribution. That's really cool. Ireland. This is Ireland. Yes, this is Ireland. But that's fantastic. There's always a huge representation of Canadians at APAC for some reason, even though it definitely doesn't line up well. Is huge 4, 5? Okay, good enough. Germany, South Canada. Yeah, South Canada had a good showing. But that's really good. I like that. APAC classically had the smallest turnout. So like the differences between last year, if I'm not mistaken, there was similar numbers at APAC Continentals last year, maybe even a bit less. But then when it came to like Americas, it was over 130 players. So that's a fair bit bigger than this. So I have no doubt Euro Africas and Americas are going to be bigger. They just have generally bigger metas based off of the population. So this is generally the first one. I think a lot of players want to play in this one as well because they think it might be small. So, you know, you have better chances of winning just mathematically. I don't know about that, but it was definitely a good start. Started at 8 p.m. for us West Coasters, so it went on to about 2 a.m. Reasonable times for us. It's not the worst. It's definitely not the worst. I think Europe is the hardest. No, this one's classically the most difficult, I think. Czech Republic, is that the Czech flag? Czech Republic flag. No, Japan. That is the Czech flag. Nice. Longi's Czech. Okay. That's really cool. Let's talk a bit about the meta. Hey, Andre, been catching up older streams. I realized what day it was. Yo, Leonard, you dropped by the right time. Welcome. I had this conversation the other day. Do you say Leonard or you say Leonard? There's no way it's the second one, right? Maddie's laughing. We talked about this the other day. Okay, look at the meta representation. This is the breakdown. All the orange is Anarch, blue is Criminal, green is Shaper, yellow is just Atom, the only mini faction, if I'm not mistaken. And there is a lot of 419. 419 going into this looked like the most dominant. It's what everybody says was the best thing to do. And that, honestly, it didn't win, right? What was the runner deck that won? No, it definitely didn't win. I know the runner deck that won. But I think it did well. If we look at the top 8 here, there's going to be a bit of spoilers here. But if you look at the top 8, actually 419 barely showed up. There's only one in the top 8. I think 2 or 3 players from the top 8 actually did end up dropping. So you got like the 9th and the 10th player in, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it seems like that. But 419 classically, I think that's actually a really bad conversion rate, as they would call it, into like making a top 8. And a lot of that too is even if you play the strongest thing, a lot of people build decks to work against it. Maybe there's a lot of macrophage and I don't know, Cyberdeck's sandbox. I doubt it, but this specifically the sports metal deck, the sort of blame changer deck, that sort of shell that we've been seeing for a long time now, is very bad for 419. Economic denial doesn't work. The ice is pretty strong. It's hard to keep that deck down, and I think this is what I'm so excited going into Euro Africas, is to see how people take this information. Is 419 really worth playing when it has such a miserable matchup against what's possibly the strongest corp deck right now? So this chunk didn't work out for anyone. So that's really fascinating. I think we also saw some interesting changes to some of the criminal lists, like this counter surveillance. I think that is so cool, seeing this sort of tag me criminal show up. And that's actually really interesting because this has a stronger win condition, or a different win condition attached to it than some of the other criminal lists that are running turning wheel. And I don't even know how 419 wins. I think turning wheel. But the idea of the counter surveillance, you can actually like close the game out by taking a lot of tags. And specifically, I don't know how well this deck did, how much of the field was trying to kill them with meat damage. Wayland was pretty prevalent, but if everyone's playing HB fast advance, you can get away with floating tags, and you got this, which is pretty good. So that's kind of cool. On the corp side, it's very purple, like more than half the meta is purple. And you notice the representation on things like NBN. I think there's only 2 decks. On Jinteki, only 1 deck, and then the other half is criminal. And it's not the criminals Wayland. It's not the Waylands you'd actually expect. I expected the outfit and built to last, but Jemison Astronautics also put in, I guess only 3 decks is still 8% of the field on a tournament this size, but that's pretty wild. And one of those decks actually did really, really well. So this is kind of what people expected, mostly sports, a bit of PD, and this is Asa. And I have no doubt that has the best conversion rate of all the decks we're looking at the tournament. A heck of a lot. Sports metal, PD, sports metal, Asa. So if you're playing an HB deck, conversion rate seemed way better than anything else. Rotage's decks were really, really, really spicy. We're going to play the Jemison deck. It was mean. I'm really excited to see it. I didn't see a lot of it in stream. I'm happy you snuck in. I thought of a Wonder game, my strength of schedule. Oh, for Giles who made it in. I was bumped from 10th to 8th. I made the cut with my runner going 0 and 2. Woo! Count it. Competitive. Oh, that was a stealth punk deck. This deck actually didn't have a lot of representation. It didn't look like, and I think this deck is actually really well tuned. Having the imp, you could actually put a Claude into this deck, I think, relatively easily and have a pretty good, or at least a better matchup. I think one of the big things you can see from the sports metal decks, how they changed, is that they're actually starting to run Arc Lockdown, which seems like a very potent card. Not only is this good against Max classically, because you can hit any major card if it comes down to the mid to late game where that matters, but you can deal with Clot, you can break out some of the Anarch Breakers. This just seemed like a really good card, and it's easy to include. The other thing we saw from these sports metal lists, based off of the other ones we've seen before, the Blame Changer list, is they cut out a lot of those like non-necessary asset packages. So those decks used to run 3 Maryland, and some of them still do, 3 Maryland, 3 Nico, and those were just kind of wasting the runner's time. They're by no means important to the game plan, and this deck ran a Bast Chiraboga, which is really cute, because this technically is another Biotic Labor with access to red level clearance, and that's good. I do want to say huge shout out to Sokka, mind you. I think we said this before, a bit of a spoiler, but Sokka took this tournament, our I think reigning Canadian national champion, or has been at some point in time. Really nice guy as well. So well played here. One thing that I'm kind of upset about these decks is they stopped running Jeeves, and the Jeeves just gave so many cool things the deck could do with like drawing with red level clearance, and then some of them played subliminal and sprint and still having clicks left where you like red level clearance down a spin doctor and draw some events. I loved that line of play, and it was so fun and creative, and this list I think was one of the few that didn't play Jeeves in it, but obviously it worked. Yeah, Whiteblade's still running Jeeves. I think a lot of people are still running Jeeves. Vanilla also dropped out of the decks too, and I think Hagen is much better suited against 419, so you eat an early Amakua, stuff like that. Gotta reduce complexity. Yeah, just Audacity at a hand. I think the other interesting card is Fast Break, which is a heck of a card. Draw X cards, gain X credits is really powerful for this sort of deck. And this card actually would be really strong alongside Jeeves as well. I'm interested in why Jeeves got cut. Can we ban Vacheron now? Jeeves, Subliminal Maryland, Nico Tranquility are all cards that are nice, but not necessary. So that's what it came down to. And I'm not surprised. When your deck has 3 Audacities, 3 Biotic Labors, and you can Arc Lock down a Clot, like everything's a 3-2, right? 3-2. 3-2, 3-2, let's go. So yeah, Hefter Ice Sweet to shore up some strategies. Yeah, I believe it. This is more ice than the other list had. I think it's like 2 or 3 ice more. If you want to see more of this, and I highly recommend you to do it, Nisei did not stream it themselves, but you can find it on multiple channels. This is the Winning Agenda, some enduring Netrunner content creators. This is Jesse and Jess, and their coverage was really good. They did the first couple rounds on day one. I think eventually they zoom in a bit more than this, but the content is really good. So check this out. I'll have all the links in the YouTube video. And if you want to check more of day one, I didn't realize that actually Ginevra makes, I don't know if I've seen the content before. This is really good. Day two, they did the whole top cut. I think they did the back half of Swiss rounds, but this stuff was really good. It was Chicken Slayer, I think, and then Brandon the King did commentary with Ginevra. This is great. So if you want to see the top cut, it's all here. So you can check that out. I'll link it in the description below. Coming up this weekend is Euro Africa's. Get involved if you want to. I still think you can sign up, get tickets, work with this information to figure out what you want to play. I promise you, it's still a really fun time, even if you don't fancy yourself a competitive player. If anybody played in the tournament who didn't make the top cut, who doesn't fancy themselves to be a strong player, I'd love to hear how your day went. If you had a good time, if you made some friends, the journey is more important than the destination. So do sign up. I think on this one, specifically, Nisei will be streaming it. I think they did a test stream today. I'm pretty sure Ed is going to be hosting it. Oh, hey, we're live. Sick. I think Ed is going to be hosting it, and I think it's going to be on the Nisei channel. If it's not, check out cook._Ed. Otherwise, it should be on Project Nisei, and that'll be up here. I too forgot what day it was. I just got done barely winning an Ashes game. Barely winning is good enough, right? Ed is streaming it. Perfect. Bridgman and Russ Ryder did great comps with Ginevra and Swiss. I didn't know that. I haven't seen the. I watched the beginning of the Winning Agenda stuff, and then it was like 2 in the morning, so I went to sleep. With a bunch of different guests, including Sokka. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. I really like sports list White Blade show me in my video from earlier this week. Plug. I haven't watched that one yet, but I know you've been putting up videos. I think there was another one with Gronkov, right? With Rob. Streamception. Anyways, sick. Check all that stuff up. This is the last news I want to say before we jump into Netrunner. It's only 9:30. We got good time. Is that this game, Doomtown, their Kickstarter launched, I think, 2 days ago. If you don't know anything about Doomtown, I've talked about it a bit on this channel before. It is another card game. It's a living card game as well, and it's been going on for a while. Doomtown Reloaded is a reboot of an old CCG back in the day, and then AEG rebooted it and made it a living card game and supported it for a couple of years until it was they canceled it. And then the people that worked at AEG actually were given the license to continue to do with it as they wanted to, and they started their own company called Pinebox Entertainment and have been continuing to support the game. And now they're basically doing the Weird West edition, which is basically like Core Set 2.0. They're rebooting the game because there's a lot of like withstanding balance issues and a huge card pool that's very difficult for people to get into the game and play on an organized play, because there's some cards that are overtuned that are part of the core set that they want to change, and the card pool is just too big and a bit too difficult to get. So they're doing two things. They're reprinting this core set that has a lot of existing cards. It's about half existing cards, half new cards. And they're retuning all the problematic cards back in the day to make them more reasonable, so we'll see a wider range of cards when you're building your deck. That's fantastic. I think that's a big problem with the game. We saw this in Netrunner multiple times with the revised core sets, and it's a really big way to breathe life into the game. On top of that, they're rotating a huge heft of cards, the oldest cards from the game. So if you want to get into this game and play competitively, all the stuff, or an organized play, all the stuff that you need or that belongs in collection are very easily accessible modernly. They're all sold through their website and in your local game store. I can't say enough that this game is really, really good. Maddie and I have been playing it casually for years. I've gone to events and meetups. I'm not like a very competitive player. I generally net deck mostly, but it's just, there's something about this game that it's going to take too long to describe why this game is amazing. Combat is played through poker hands. The game is all about positionality in chess, where your units move between locations. They're called dudes, move between locations, and you're controlling locations. And there's this tension that's so Wild West, where people are scared of when there's going to be a shootout, when that's going to happen. And then when a shootout happens, you're playing poker with your deck. And as you notice, all cards in your deck have abilities and bullets and influence and control points, but they also have suits and values like a normal set of cards. So your deck building not only is going to be how your strategy works, but the way that you build your deck is going to affect how you win the majority of combat in the game, which is shootouts, because you have to draw cards off the top of your deck and play poker with them. This game is so cool. It is so unique. It's fantastic. If you want to get on board, you can drive in. They have this up. I would highly recommend it. You can also try it out. They just launched, I think it's out of beta, but they also launched their own Jinteki.net that you can play Doomtown online and try the game out. You can also try this out on Tabletop Simulator. There's a video on this channel from, oh, that didn't work out well, from a while ago, from April Fool's last year, where I actually taught how to play the game. I do swear a lot in it, and there's a bunch of cuts in it. It's a bit regrettable, but if you want to see what the game looks like, check that out. This game is very good. It is really good. I can't recommend it enough. It's really interesting. The only bummer for me, and this is a really big bummer, is that they're not doing an upgrade kit. And this is such a problem. So if you want a full playset of cards, which is a huge amount of cards, it costs like $120 US. If you want to just try the game, it's only 60 US. But right now, I think it's the most expensive time to ship stuff like this and produce stuff like this. So the prices are probably a bit higher than anybody would want them to. That's just kind of how freight and paper pulp is looking this day. But if you have all this stuff and you just want to upgrade and just get the new cards, not the cards that are just direct reprint that they've made no changes to, there's no option for you. So if I want to join in, I have to spend a lot of money and get half of these cards that are going to be entirely redundant because I already own them. And that's such a bummer. I really don't like that. Let alone though, if you want to get in, $60 will do you. That'll buy you one core set. In theory, you need 2 core sets to have all the cards you can play with, but one is just a great experience. I would highly recommend it. That's it. Doomtown slaps. It's really, really good. It's really good. Let me just catch up on chat. Also, Frank, how's Slay the Spire going? I see you a lot on there. There's one sports game that finished in 7 minutes and the 3 commentators were gasping for breath. Yes. We did 3 games back to back and I put them out in 2 videos. 419 versus Sports Battle. Rob and I struggled pretty hard against sports and did some big throws. Ooh, I'll check that out. Cole versus Vicky. I might actually buy into the Kickstarter. I get my Weird West on the through Shadows of Brimstone board game. Yo, Cactus, I'm a bit familiar with that. I know a bit of it. I've seen it at least. Always like to hear when my girl's competitive. Justice for Vicky. Terminology is my favorite part of this game. I boot my dude to start a shoot at the saloon. It has the exact same sort of thing from Netrunner, where there's very concise, very precise terminology for things to reduce the text on cards, and it's very thematic stuff. Like you move people, that's fine, but on your turn your actions are called act in. You act in. There's deeds, there's dudes. Yeah, you boot dudes, which is basically tapping them like they're exhausted. You call people out. Your home is where your people start. I don't know, it's great. Town square is the middle area. Oh, it's really, really charming. This Kickstarter core set will have a non-full playsets. If you buy the $60 ones, you'll get a full... No, exactly. You won't get a full playset. This is exactly the same way that the original core set did. And I think a lot of people are getting frustrated with this because even FFG isn't doing this anymore. Is that if you buy $60, you get 2 of each card, which is definitely enough for 1 player. But in theory, if you are playing competitive, you can put 4 of the same card in a deck, just like Magic. So you would need to buy twice the box. What deck are we playing? Let's talk about some of the other stuff that came out during APAC, some of the really, really, really spicy decks. This is Bing's deck. It's called Cannon Rush. And this is a kill deck. It's a Neurospike deck out of Jemison. And I have a huge soft spot from Jemison. We played a heck of a lot of Jemison back in the day on this channel. And this deck looks nothing like I thought it would look, but it has some really scary and wild combos built into it. Jemison, I think I've heard from a lot of people that Jemison Neurospike was one of the first decks they built when the new cards come out, and they had a lot of success with it. I think a big part is people don't know how to play against Jemison. Jemison had a lot of tricks up their sleeve and had a lot of very lethal tricks. Back in the day, you used to be able to forfeit agendas at instant speed and put all the counters onto a Project Junebug, which is the old Urtica cipher that they've already agreed to access, and they would die out of nowhere. And a lot of people didn't know how to play with that, and you get some really good cheesy wins, and then after a while people sort of wisened up, and it was still a very potent strategy that people had to respect. And I thought a lot of times people would just score fast advance out multiple agendas or a big agenda out and then Neurospike people. But this list does it a bit more interestingly, because you'll notice Jemison works when you forfeit an agenda, you add agenda counters to a card that's already installed, right? So a lot of times this deck will be running 3 copies of Oberth Protocol because it's one of the most powerful fast advance tools within this deck, but it's only running 1. It's also running a card I've never seen played in any list before, which is Sacrifice, which is definitely a Jemison card because it forces you to forfeit an agenda and it is fundamentally a bad card. But the idea with this deck is that you want to get a CityWorks project heavily advanced into a remote server, and then you want to score it And then you fire 2 cards. You fire Malper Data Vault to either pull the second agenda, if I'm not mistaken, if you don't have it, and or a fast advance piece like Oberth or Sacrifice. Then using Arella Salvatore, which is hopefully in their remote server, you install another 3-pointer from hand with an advancement counter on it. And then you either use the Sacrifice or the Oberth protocol to forfeit the agenda that you just scored to fast advance, and I think in a single click, if not maybe 2 clicks, I think a single click, score out your other 3-pointer. So you actually score out 6 agenda points in a single turn, and then you hit the runner with a single Neurospike. Oh, Malper can't tutor agendas? That is actually a huge point. Okay, so you need to have another agenda in hand. Thank you. And that's what the deck does. There's also some fancy tricks, I guess. You do have 1 Tithonium, so mid-run, if they're running a remote server and it's a CityWorks project and they think they can steal it, you can always put more advancement counters on it than they're ready to access and die to. They're always going to see that coming, so they're never going to die to it unless they make a huge mistake. Like, they can always jack out. This card is face up. They have full information. But that's the idea here. I don't know if we saw it on stream, because again, I haven't seen the second half of day 1, but this seems really fun. You have dedication to get your SDS drone, your CityWorks project up really quickly. And I don't know if this deck is going to try and score to 7. I have no doubt it's possible, but we generally want to combo out, right? Something I'm glad the playtesters caught. Was that an issue? Was it just because with this, it would be in fast advanced decks? I guess so, right? I spent my spare monies on Liga display, so can't consider getting to Doomtown. Which one did you get? That's awesome. So I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this. So set up a CityWorks and then set off the combo kill. We've seen, I think Whiteblade classically played some like dedication ceremony CityWorks project kill decks out of what's the other one, SSO, and I think those are really good. I'm not sure whether this one's better or more reliable, but it definitely seems way more interesting and flashy. So I'm excited to get that together. We'll give it a shot. Apex. Oh, sick. Okay. Oh, also that's not good. At least we won, right? At least we won. I was dreading that. I'm not that superstitious. We'll just stare at that for a while. What is this called? Cannon Rush, right? Jemison Astronautics. Oh, beans. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and update this deck list on Keyhole. So just give me 1 second. You won't be able to see what I'm doing. But if you just wait a second, Keyhole will update with the new deck list if you are using Keyhole, which matches my JNet background. Ooh, you have Apex as your background. Wow. Anything you install too high just goes into the void, huh? Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we should be good. I think there's a lot of tech cards that can beat this deck out. I don't think we're that worried about them. Meat damage protection is not that prevalent right now, but like a single Citadel Sanctuary is going to be a problem for us. I think that's for sure. Corp. I wonder how many non-agenda points can a runner get. I know Notoriety is 1. I wonder if there are any other cards. Yeah, there's a fair bit. There's Meridian. There's News Team. There's like a bunch of Jinteki ones. Hangeki, I think. I don't know. There's like a guy with needles in it. In rotation. I feel like there's 1 or 2. Fansite is no longer in the rotation. I think out of standard that might be it. I don't know. Ochella, yeah, Liberated Chella. Executives, yeah, executives too. Yeah, I think the board is the only executive, and Victoria Jenkins. I think a fair bit. Stick with 60 for now. Maybe I'll have more cash with the pledge manager opens. Yeah, it's also worth noting, like, I don't love saying this, and like they've already hit their Kickstarter goals, so that's amazing. But if $60 with probably shipping on it seems really expensive, this will show up in retail stores. So if you're looking for Doomtown, like you can, it'll hopefully be in your local game store at some point. Everyone has fond memories of political graffiti. Oh man, they changed the rules of the game just so political graffiti wouldn't be a problem. Turntable for an offer you can't refuse. Man, I've never seen that. I feel like there's some more. I think we're forgetting 1 or 2. The corp card that counts as points that they're never played. Yeah, they're largely not played. Yo, Frisbee, how's it going? It's going well. How are you doing? Welcome. Also, Mufasa finally caught a stream. Welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. We're about to play something really silly. They also said the price per cycle isn't going to change from Kickstarter to retail, but I think that starter set well. Yeah, I wonder if it'll get more or less expensive. There are also, like, if you want to support on Kickstarter, it's obviously good for them. They would love the support, and then it gives them ideas of how popular the game is. But there are exclusives I think you get like some certain coins and badges and stuff if you support online. So yeah. This consistently happens. Excuse me, maybe not consistently. I don't know. You saw this with Nisei too. Is that the people that left AEG to continue to make the game on their own, the Pine Box Entertainment, the sets that they've been putting out recently are some of the best sets in the whole game, if you ask me. Because at this point, they've been doing this for years, and they've also been working a lot more, it seems, with the community, getting a good understanding and play testing. There's also a lot of like narrative stuff that the community can influence how the story goes, and certain characters get upgraded versions of themselves and stuff like that. But the stuff they've been putting out has been like considerably way less, like nothing from my understanding has been like really problematic in terms of like balance, and they've just been printing better stuff. Because I think it's the same thing that happened with Netrunner, that happened with Doomtown, is out of the first couple cycles, there were just so many cards that were way underneath the curve because people are, I guess, a bit cautious of printing things that might be too powerful. Yo, Andre, how hype are you about the new next Arkham campaign new release model? Really, really hype. We've talked about this, I think, a bit on the channel, but the idea that the new Arkham stuff comes out all in one box, actually it's 2 boxes, and I think today we learned that it seems like the new investigators are going to come out at the end of September, but the actual scenario box is not going to come out till like November, which is definitely the better way that one comes before the other, but like there's going to be a big difference between those 2 boxes come out. And again, I don't know if that's by design or, again, it's worth emphasizing, there is a huge problem with freight right now. And board games are not a high profit product, so shipping is real difficult. How else can the runner so-called self-score? I know that might be against the spirit of the game, but I'll never have to have ridiculous requirements. Mark, I don't think there's that many. Like right now, it's largely just Liberated Cella. I think that's the only card that the runner can add to their score area. Is it possible to make a runner have no clicks on their turn? Legacy with Victoria Jenkins, NCA, and other cards? Yeah, no, I think you actually can do it, Floofy, in standard. You still have, there's an operation that just says load testing. It says lose a click. You just play enough of those. You play 2 of those, Victoria Jenkins and MCA, you're there. Yeah, you can, but also false lead. False leads, score 2 false leads, they have no turn. Are there card games you don't play? Yeah, I don't play Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. I don't play Legend of the 5 Rings. I've never played Game of Thrones, even though I'd love to pick up a core set. I don't play poker. I know what you mean, though. They had to ban clone suffrage movement because they were just recurring load testing within doing that. I don't think that was actually the main reason why clone suffrage was banned. I think it was, well, I honestly, it could be probably unbanned right now, even with load testing around. Maybe I'm going to regret saying that. But there was other cards, too, that would have been problematic with. Like, clone suffrage for Friends in High Places is disgusting. Kasi String. Oh, we forgot Kasi String. Oh, I feel really bad about that one, honestly. Kasi String. Clone suffrage has been pretty banned forever. It's been banned for a really long time. And the problem with that card is it exacerbates, it's like any strong recursion card, it exacerbates all other issues, like all other strong cards, right? Like, I don't know if you'd see that if it was legal in sports metal, but like people would just recur, you know, audacities or red level clearances. But like back in the day, they would recur violet level clearances or all, before that was banned, right? So it just makes any strong operation even stronger. And it kind of just shows the problems. Played any of the old Decipher games? Star Trek, Star Wars? I think I'm too young. I'm pretty sure I'm too young for that. Anyone play Star Wars LCG? No. FFG had just like a straight up Star Wars LCG? I know the Star Wars CCG. I know of, I mean. But like, I know of Destiny. I know of Imperial Assault. They just actually like straight up have a Star Wars LCG? Maybe that's surprising that I didn't think they did. Voting Machine Initiative 2 times MCA times 3 and Victoria Jenkins can go all off in one turn. Technically, Voting Machine Initiative times 3, except that needs black file. Or Catholic, yeah. If you score 3 VMIs and don't win the game, someone's really wronged you. There was one. Really? Was it good? What was it about? How? How did it do game? I don't know. I'm not like, growing up, Star Wars was always really cool. As a kid, I loved a lot of Star Wars stuff, right? As kids do. Not that saying adults shouldn't, but like I think at some point I got really just jaded with the giant like Disney, Marvel, Star Wars kind of machine, that it's really hard for me to get excited about that stuff. I don't know. Maybe I look like an ass, but yeah, I don't know. If someone's like, "Oh, this is a cool game," and it's Star Wars, to me that feels like it would detract from it. Maybe this is a bad look. I don't think I should be talking shit about Star Wars on the internet. They are discontinued, just like Netrunner. The continuing community is for Star Trek, and Star Wars Decipher has the TCG. I know, or at least I've heard, this came up multiple times in the last week, that the continued support for the Star Wars game has been really good. I had a light side and dark side deck. I don't know how good it was. It was played regularly at the game store I went to play Netrunner at circa 2014, 2015. Ah, cool. Okay, so I technically could have played it if I chose. I support you dunking on Star Wars. Appreciate it, son. Like, Star Wars is fine. I just like, there's just so much of it that I don't feel like I want more of it, right? Like, there's already way too much of it. It's just not something I'm excited about, but it doesn't mean it's bad. All right. Oh, 107 cards. Heck yeah. Okay, so we just are not going to know what they're capable of. We have an opening too big to fail. We have Hordem, Vanilla. We have a Malapur. In theory, we'd want a mulligan into just straight up into like Cityworks Project, because that's our most important card. And the chance of them getting imp, lower than most other Anarch decks at this point. But this hand is not bad. I will cheat. Oh man. Big Max is the best. Excuse me. Star Wars also had an LCG, which was sort of asymmetric with Darkseid having death star counters and both sides have shield counters. Huh. You too. Thanks. You too. Okay, we're off to the races. We have a drone deployment. I don't know if this deck wants to score agendas. I feel like it might not. That being said, sometimes we just draw into two, what's it called? Narrow spikes and we win, but I don't think it's going to be this turn. I don't know what to do. I think we can pretty safely just put this in a remote server. I'm just not sure if we want to score this. All right, we're going to leave R&D of him. Big Max is fun. I'm pretty sure Jonas has like 80% win rate with the Stick Max. Yo, how's it going, Cat? I think Big Max is great. I think it's super, well, it's a bit meta dependent, but I honestly don't mind it at all. Are you playing Cat, by the way, in any of the events? I forgot, did the Android lore include some war that was lost? I think it was against Mars. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I know there was like a lot of revolutions on Mars. Like a lot of, oh, this is a problem. Because of the drone deployment, it won't last forever, and they'll just trash the leech. They're also playing Boomerang. Very cool. Can someone explain me to this gateway only noob why Max is a thing? Why is Max a thing is I'm gonna let them trash that. I don't care. So the idea is that you run just so many good cards and so many flexible solutions to problems that it doesn't matter what you have. It'll be good enough, right? Like they didn't have to draw into the right breaker, and a lot of their heap breakers, mind you, trigger from the heap anyways. So basically you just put all the good stuff in a deck and get free card draw with Max. And then you have enough ways to access cards from the heap, cards like Retrieval Run, maybe you're running Simul Chips, but that this deck has so many good ways to deal with the basic problems set in front of them that you don't have to be consistent, you just want the free card draw. There's a lot of good Anarch and neutral cards, yeah, exactly. And it's just fun. It's honestly fun. Like it's I wouldn't say it's full random, but like, if we don't triple advance as Hordem, we're in a problem. Like, it's going to be a problem. Because they're just going to run this, run that. Like, and that's just turn 2, right? Just because they get free card draw and they get good stuff. It's wild. I don't love this play. I'm not playing Continentals. I don't have the ability to wake up for Europeans, and I'm going to be on a vacation with a partner from American Continentals. Yo, enjoy the vacation. And I figure he wants to actually spend time together. Yeah, he'll understand. Don't worry. Moshing also turns your less good cards into better cards. Yeah, and you can also be a bit more wanton with your cards. Like things like Patchwork that let you just guard your cards for cost reductions. Like there's a lot of reasons. But like it's only good. Like look at this. It's turn 3. They have found a way to close the game, which the deck has probably access to not that many, maybe 2 or 3. And then they've found breakers. Like luckily the mouseless fires, I guess. But like we will lose to this straight up. They have access to no bin breakers. I'm just going to hit the fire button. All right, we hit an overclock. Good enough. And this is not accessing, so they will get a leech counter, but they won't get an Amakua counter. Still didn't learn how to play from my heap. I was hesitant to discard cards. A big thing about Netrunner right now is the game is just over so fast. It just discard cards. Like if you don't have the cards you need. Oh, that's our second spin doctor. That's a problem. Go get better cards. I don't want to res this. It costs them literally nothing. It does tax them out though if they want to trash cards from hand because we have all trash costs and it will eat their bad publicity. So we're also going to draw into a dedication. And we can't dedicate this and a mouseless, so not great. That's why 0 is good. Yeah, also 0 is really good. So doing net damage to the max just makes them laugh. Yeah, no, it just tickles. It just tickles. They hit the TBTF. They didn't trash that, so they have all these counters here. Purging is really bad with a vanilla here, let alone an open archive. So, you know, not amazing. And we need 4 credits. So I think we do advance, and then we hit this button. And at this point, we're either hoping to trash the Amakua or the Stargate. They have access to Paperclip, so that's still a problem. Do you need this card right now? No, toss it. Exactly. Is your hand going to win you the game now? Probably doesn't matter then. I always think I may need this later. Need to consider the burden hand over 2 in the bush. Yeah, no, for sure. If the game's not that long, there's a real high cost to keeping something into your hand. Oh, it's just a wanton. It's just a wanton. You see, this is what I mean. They have so many accesses to ways to like win the game, win conditions. This is going to wipe out 3. All right, we kept. So we have 2 spin doctors down, 2 Malaprots down. It's going to be very hard for us to combo out. I think we do just hit the Amakua though. But they could just tank the mouseless, honestly. Luckily, we have a small agenda density. There's only 7 more and 36. That's actually not that good right now. And once they get their paperclip up, again, they have 2 bad publicity. Like, it's going to be hard to keep the leech counters down. So I think the Amakua is smart. There's the 0. So they've trashed another Keiko, or a Keiko and another Amakua. I'm going to try and move my head a bit lower just so we can see their heap. We're going to have to open it a bunch. Vanilla, so looks like they're going to spend most of their money getting down a paperclip. They're going surprisingly low, but they wiped their whole hand, so they don't have to really respect hard-hitting news. Like, it's unlikely that we have it at this point in time. City works. Interesting. So, I think we're just going to install dedicate this. Server 1, dedicate this. So this will be 5 damage, and I think we're going to... Like, it's either we trash this and put a mouseless on HQ, but then we have no cards in HQ. Or we advance this once, so they need 6 damage. And they also need a way to get through the Whoredom. And money, so I don't think we need to protect this more. I think we're going to get rid of this. Put this on HQ. So now we're like really weak to R&D lock. Because we don't have a lot of cards in hand. Dedicate the mouse? They won't run through it? Yeah, you might be right. Maybe we dedicate the mouse list, but I think we need to get this on the table. Because even we can actually score this out next turn and then hopefully top deck a hostile and win. But yeah, dedicating this makes them a lot less likely to want to run through it. 3 net damage is a lot. So they haven't hit any other breakers besides second paperclip. If we didn't have a way to trash the Amakua, we would be way underwater at this point. We got pretty lucky. Their money is stalling out a bit. Oh, whoa, they're running into Whoredom? What? This wins us the game. Right? Oh no, we're short a click. Because we could pull Neurospike. When did they get a Black Orchestra? What the It was off the 0? I hate my life. They hit it off of the 0. Drinking coffee at 10 p.m. procrastinating homework right now. Don't take my advice. Oh, that feels so bad. We don't have punitive. Ugh. Feels bad, man. Yo, Jogging, how you doing? Should have dedicated the mouse? No. I don't know. I don't think so. Criminal bypass? I'm not worried about criminal bypass. Like, they can't have too many boomerangs, and if they have it, like, that's a card out of their hand, and they need a lot of cards to contest this. I can't believe they hit the one of. Ugh. So I think we need to top deck in a hedge fund pretty soon. This. Well, this is a problem because this thing they steal without taking any damage, and they're on 6 points. We're in a really bad spot. I think we're just gonna go ahead and res the Mouseless. Yeah, we'll be on 1 credit, whatever. They actually can break this for all their money if they use leech counters. So this might be bad. You might be able to near cure if you can forfeit the SDS. Yeah, you're right. If they're on low hand size, we might be able to. No, that's actually a good point. Going down to 0 credits was really bad. I thought this would fire. I forgot they had all these leech counters and just enough money. One of these subroutines might fire though. I think they will. Whoa. Oh, they just took a tag. Cool. Wait. No, I didn't give them a tag. They got the other tag off of this one. So they have 2 tags. So the X is Afshar. Okay. Oh. Oh, my bad. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. We don't have tag punishment, no. But they had an I've had worse in hand, so they actually drew up a lot during that. I don't know why I thought that would be the tag. That's probably, well, I don't know. They're floating 1 tag. I think they're worried about 2 tags because of boom, and rightfully so. No, this is really bad. Yeah, this list is very strange. It's not what you think it is, and I think it will surprise a lot of players. They're just going as aggro as possible, which is like working for them in this matchup. But because their game plan is like not as consistent. They have to work with what they have, and if what they have is a leech and a Stargate, they're gonna try and win off leech and Stargate. I don't want to purge here, but honestly, purging might not be the worst. I'm worried that they'll do Stargate, you know, and pay 1 credit for the Mouseless because of the amount of counters they have. So like we're in a really bad spot because we're 2 bad publicity in, and they break most of our ice for only 1 credit now. I think it ran super hot to get the performance it had. Yeah, it might have. It probably did. Again, I think a lot of this is not understand. Like once you see the deck list, and I don't know if our opponent does, it's a lot more flimsy, but it's really cool. Yeah, like it's 1 counter and 1 credit. Like this is bad. It's a really cool score 6 narrow point list. Yes. So let's see which 2 they break. I reckon they'll take the damage. Yeah, okay. They lost to Botulus. So they haven't seen MK Ultra yet. It's a Forma carry. Why? Why do we have Forma carry? I guess we care about the net damage? That's so weird. A Mouseless into a hedge fund. So like unfortunately we have to Mouseless archives, I think. I think we have to Mouseless archives and then eventually purge. But like again, they don't care about net damage. So this again is only 1 credit, 1 leech counter. And the leech counter they get back. So like we have to purge them out. And even then it's not gonna last for long. Too bad pub is so bad. Turning wheel. Okay, it's another 1 condition. They see the Afshar again. The Afshar on HQ is a bit more impactful. What was the next card? I think it was a hedge fund, right? Ugh. We don't have proactive plays now. Like we're just on the back foot, and I don't know what's going to take that proactive plays because we don't have economy. So what could we possibly do, right? We need to draw another Neurospike, and then basically we need to install. I don't know if we can even fast advance, right? Like we install the our real agenda. We SDS. That gives us 4 counters. We advance, and then we only have 1 click for a Neurospike. If we have an O birth, but we lost our 1 O birth, right? Yeah. No, I don't think we can recover from this. The best thing going is that their economy has been in shambles. Oh, never mind. They'll be fine now. Maybe we sacrifice just to get rid of bad publicity. Honestly, them taking the net damage has been such a problem for us. Most people would give you the credit, and we're not getting the credit, and the credit would be so good right now. Lost a Wanton. Actually, that's a good hit. That's such a good hit. That Wanton would lose us the game. So they know we're top decking a hedge fund. So we probably want to play that before we purge, because if we don't, they poke this, and then it's a problem. Is there another Spin Doctor? Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, luckily there is. So we can draw once, unknown card. That is a problem. So we'll just put this on HQ, and then next turn we'll purge. Yeah, we lost 2. We let them trash 1. Hunted Grounds Chisel. Still no MK Ultra. They have one. Oh no, they have an MK Ultra. Excuse me. It was right there in the middle. Boom will kill runner if they aren't already holding 7 or more cards. I've had worse. Won't help you there. Did I miss something? Yeah. I've had worse would take care of boom. No. If you take more damage than the cards in the hand, I've had worse doesn't fire. Yeah. No, I missed that one. Yeah, I've had as worse is good. Say that if you want to play like high profile target for 4 damage, high profile target for another 4 damage, and they have like 1 I've had worse in hand, and you hit that, then they'll probably survive. But otherwise, it doesn't work because they're dead. All right, you see, that's not real damage. They don't care about that. Neurospike, Spin Doctor, Hedge Fund. I think they're gonna go for the Spin Doctor. Because if they don't, we draw it, then we can shuffle the Neurospike back. I've had worse would work if it was 7 instances of 1 damage, but boom does 7 all at once. Yeah, exactly. And then you die. Imagine a big missile to the face dealing 7 instances of 1 damage each. Yeah, it's like one of those where it splits into little ones. Spin Doctor, yeah, that makes sense. So we're out of recursion. So we have no Oberth. So our only fast advance trick is a single copy of Sacrifice. And we still have another Malper and 2 dedications. Magic Missile. Plasticrate's the only defense against boom? No, there's actually a whole bunch. Plasticrate, for what it's worth, isn't in the standard card pool. It hasn't been for years. There's a lot of other cards like technically Yarogniv Mercs, Citadel Sanctuary. I think those are the big 2. Also just preemptively drawing. Like if you're double tagged at the beginning of your turn, you could draw up with something like Sports Hopper. Yeah, but yeah, not having 2 tags seems like a good idea. We have to purge now. This is so bad. Like now we have to get this into a remote server, and we could win, right? Now that we have 2 of these in hand, and I think they're out all their Wantons. We're gonna play the whole game fearing. Oh no, 3 Wantons out. Yeah. Class Act. Yeah, on the Lam. Oh, on the Lam's another one. That's actually a really big point. Yeah. On the Lam is legal. Yeah. Draw 4 cards or gain 6 credits. I think this is one of the matchups where you just say draw 4 cards. Right? I don't know, man. So we have to choose draw 4 cards to gain 6 credits. What do y'all think? How's it going, Alexander? Right? Because their cards are going to be econ cards. Giving them money here is pretty bad too. Never give cards. I know, but then this... Yeah, I never give cards is probably correct. Isn't Boom an operation? I don't think it has a trash value. You can't trash Boom. But you could play a card like Imp and trash Boom. Or no, Boom has a trash cost. Excuse me, what am I talking about? No, there are operations that have trash costs. Boom has a 1 trash cost. Yeah, sorry. That started at the cycle that Boom came out, Flashpoint. There are a couple operations that have been printed from that set onwards that do have trash costs. Cards like Boom, Hatchet Job. There's even Ice with trash costs like Chrysalis. So Trojan, I don't think Trojan's trashable. I don't think Trojan's trashable. No, I don't think so. Except one game during APAC where they paid down to 1 credit and I didn't notice. Oof. So many true isn't broken. Giving cards to strike, advancing ice. My advancing ice seemed like such a good plan, and then we 1 out of like 5 their Black Orchestra. Oh, whoops. Net damage. Scorcher. No. There was no cards from the original core sets that were trashable. It took a while. Before that was a thing. Another I've had worse. Damn it. Hatchet Job. What else has a trash cost on it? The old Violet level clearance did. Hedge Fund, Afshar, Deddy. We're gonna lose the Deddy. Giving cards to the strike is still wrong. Yeah, it would have been worse for us. Violet, yeah, Violet did. I feel like there's a couple more. They're generally really powerful cards. Oh, Complete Image does. That's a Nisei card. That's a trash cost. Oh yeah, and all the lockdowns. You're right. All the lockdowns are technically operations that could be trashed. Yeah. So yeah, no, Nisei has been doing that as well. Yeah, but Boom's the only meat damage card that's trashable. That's an operation. Lockdowns are a cool idea. They are a cool idea. They're cool. I think some of them are a bit more playable than others. I feel like people aren't trying them out, and I think Seamless Launch makes them so much more playable. But I just don't think the best decks want to play them, like need to play them. There's just better strategies without them, unfortunately. But I think there's like Lacoste and Seamless Launch make them way more playable. All right, so again, they break R&D and HQ for 1 credit, and this only increases it by 2 credits. At least we can eat a Seamless Launch. So like, I don't know what we do. I don't have a good idea. If we draw Dedication. That's actually worth drawing. NAPD Cordon with Blown is pretty gross. It's a bit one more. Yeah, no. NAPD Cordon's, I think, like, outside of Imp, kind of playable. I think there's a lot of good lines. Next Command was seeing a bit of play in PD. Yeah, Next Command did actually sneak in some play after Violet level clearance is gone, and it's quite good against a Boomerang meta. If you're running, like, and a lot of people are running Brawn or Uncell, it's honestly not too bad. Not that many people are clicking through Bioroids. Soul not getting functional Rod to work with lockdowns. I would wish that you just let NBN play lockdowns, and because their lockdowns aren't very good, and then you could play Soul, and then you can play Newshound. Like, just make it an NBN thing. It's kind of flavorful. I like it. Sometimes I feel like we're living in Android, just missing the Bioroids, clones, hoppers, and space delivery. What do you mean? Let's see what we think. I would draw border component remote hedge. I think that's exactly what we did. How's it going, Everbuzz? Newshound would love the buff. Yeah, Newshound was a good card. Stargate, right? Like, they just have so much card draw. Too big to fail hostile with Sheeta. Well, that's the problem, because now they're on game point. And so if we jam this, like, that's the problem, is when they're on game point, then we jam this, there's no reason for them to run it. Like, they know that they can't. It's not like I have to steal this and, like, wait for punitive. Yeah, so we lost. Also, for Soul, lockdowns do not cost influence. Yeah, no, it'd be huge. The yellow lockdowns are like so right for 12 influence good. They're like so vanilla. It's like the one that it's like a credit to run their first time a turn. It's like that would be a fine enough ability. And you have to pay for the card and put the card in your deck. Like it's not great. Net damage? Yeah. All right. We're going to put it all on the line here. So this is how much damage? 6 damage. They'll start the turn with 4 cards in hand. If they hit 0, they'll be at 5 cards in hand. So they basically have to click and draw and run through this. Is Kit even playable at 12? I thought she needed 15. I think Kit's a pretty strong ability. It just, certain metas need it more than others. I think Kit's probably playable now. You would definitely want the more influence though. Next turn, Deddy the agenda? Yeah, I think so. We want to get this, hopefully, because now we do advanced score, Neurospec. We could actually win. So it should just be routed to have the text resources cost 2 credits to install. How many I've had worse in the bin? I think enough. Like, okay, this is not easy to look at, I'll admit. I think we've seen at least 2. Honestly, I don't know. We could lose the game here. 1, 2. Just 2. But like, it's our only option. So if they hit an agenda here, we lose. If they don't hit agenda, we win. Looks like they chose not to win with that moshing. Yeah, maybe not. But they don't know what this is. I just don't know if there's anything that could be. So that's it. If they hit agenda here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 3 agendas in 19. So there has to not be agenda in the top 3. Shit, we lost. Fuck. It was so close. We were so close. Oh, we got unlucky there. That moshing did win them the game. Good game. We did nothing. And maybe, like, again, like, I hate saying this where, like, we have a cool spicy deck and then we probably don't know how to play it and don't play it well. And they're like, oh, it looks bad. Hey, thanks, you too. Great Victoria Jin. Yeah, we just made no proactive plays that game, which feels bad. Like, that is the worst feeling for me, where you just waiting to lose. Okay, cool. Yeah, it just feels so bad. We're just clicking for credits and waiting for them. We finally built a win condition there, and if we didn't hit an agenda there, we'd have it. There's only 2 more agendas in the deck, one at the bottom and then one a bit further down. So we just got a bit unlucky, let's say. I played this a bunch and I feel like I need to find replay VODs because almost all my games have felt like this. Yeah, right? Yeah. Nice. All right, we'll try another one though. Because I've no doubt we can get like a really, really a powerful win that the runner is not going to expect. We did get, I guess we got a bit unlucky on the Black Orchestra. I guess we keep advancing it from there. Won a few times, but more often from misplays. Yeah, that's also the sort of deck where if they misplay, they lose. Like, I would argue that they know that we had a Neurospike, so not running for their remote is a misplay. Right? Like, they have to put basically everything on the top of the deck having an agenda in it. And maybe because they saw so few agendas, that seems reasonable. But there's 1 in the remote, 3 in the score areas. Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying false lead clearinghouse Jemmy after seeing that APAC. APAC has so many spicy lists. Yo, Brick, how's it going? Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think actually clearinghouse is probably what more people were playing when the set came out, because Jemison Clearinghouse, you can do some really, really, really scary stuff. I think I honestly like the idea of Jemison Clearinghouse a bit more. Like, I if we had more fast advanced tricks, I think I'd be excited to add Clearinghouse to the list. I was expecting you to deady the mouse list. Yeah, we didn't draw one. I even think if we deady the mouse list, it's not that big of a deal. Right? Like, it's such a big tempo hit, and then you only spend 4 to break as opposed to 1 to break. I don't know. It's hard. Audacity is a card? What do you mean? Play one of MBK's list. I think we have one open. I think we have this one open, so we're going to play it next. All right, 419. So this is probably going to be like really good stuff. I'm scared. We have an Afshar for HQ, which is kind of nice. We're opening again with our Oberth, the one of in the list, and a Malapur, which we don't want in our opening hand. I think we actually will mulligan this. We have no economy. Honestly, that's not bad. If you had FA and Wayland, I mean, like, excuse me. I think I was talking that we need Jemison tricks, right? To like add advancement counters to things. Why do we keep opening with the 1 Oberth? Okay, so hedge fund. I think we want to jam behind a Rashida. I really like installing multiple cards in the same turn because it's annoying against 419. Like, you get more value. To some extent, it might have been okay just to like Afshar this on the remote, this on the remote. But if they run HQ and we're forced to res, it's really bad. So I'm going to pay a credit here, click for credit. Next turn, we'll double install. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't know. I don't think we have a robust economy, and the aggression from 419 or the tax is going to add up pretty quickly. We also don't have any sort of like CVS or any sort of virus tricks, I don't think. So again, once they get an Amaku up, we're in a really bad spot. Yeah, we have nothing to deal with Amaku, and we have 2 vanillas. So, and border control is not amazing against Amaku. Ooh. I wonder if this is a tag me one. Oh, Saber's kind of cute, honestly. So I'm going to not res this until they install an Amakua, and then I'll res it because I'm assuming they want to expose it and get an Amakua counter. One Amakua counter is actually really good because then they can get through border control, which they're assuming is on here, and also gets through Afshari. I think I know what this list is up to. Damn it, they just falsified. Should have pre-rest. I was going to wait for an Amakua to come down because it gives them a counter. They seem to be happy with this. Was chatting with Arzan about it earlier this week. You think you know what this list is up to? Interesting. So far, it doesn't look like anything special. It does look a bit more run-based. Formicary. I think we just want this on archives. I respect APOC. This looks like it could easily be an Apocalypse deck. And I respect Amakua. I'm just resing it. Whatever. At least we have good economy. Andre, any interest in going back and trying my deck of the week? Nato, your deck of the week is the Virus Lou deck, right? Because I think so. Smells like APOC? It does smell like APOC. I guess we res Sapper? I guess. I would love to not res it and actually hit something meaningful, but that's a bummer. That's the one. Yeah, I do want to try it. Res Formicary? No, thank you. This is bad timing with all the comps on. Yeah, it was really unfortunate. I know he sent an email too. Okay. They're gonna have 6 cards in hand, so we want to put a. We'd have to do Bordicle, install. This actually eats the trigger though, which is really nice for 419 because it's installed face up, so you can't expose a face up card. I do think they're gonna Apocalypse this though, and they're just testing the water a bit. Problem with Formicary telegraphs itself so hard on JNet. I don't know. Sometimes it's like I talk a lot. It's kind of hard to tell if we don't snap to it, but I see what you mean. Does it actually say like waiting for prompt? Because that's a problem. Okay, so we have to draw a Neurospike or a Malapur. Okay. So if we draw a Malapur, we win. Huh. What does the prompt say? It asks you when they make a successful run. Oh, it actually tells them before. That's really bad then. So I think we want to put another piece of ice so they don't boomerang us. So I'm going to put this on HQ. And I'll advance this once. So as soon as we top deck Malapur, we can win. We have 3 and 32. If we top the Neurospike, which is 1 and 32. Otherwise, we need to draw like that and an Arella. Like it's a lot. They have a lot of money though. They're not running a lot for having a bankroll. This looks like a mutual favor. I'll res into this. Do we have enough money? Yeah, I guess we do. So they'll end the run probably. I don't think they want to take 2 net damage. They usually have... Oh, they took an inside job and overclock. Wow. I think losing that inside job, like if they did that, they probably don't have Apocalypse in their hand. But they probably don't have breakers in hand because you can't take net damage that freely in Criminal. I don't know APOC incoming because would they risk 2 net damage with an APOC in hand? Maybe they have 2, but this is really bad against APOC. And now if they drop down like a, at least if they drop down Sneak Door, we'll have a bit of time to react to it. Wait, why are they doing this? Because they know it's Afshars? That's absolutely amazing. We need to keep 8 credits. Wait, no, do they have 6 cards in hand? No, I think we're generally fine unless they deuces. Yeah, we can take this. We can score a hostile out. Yeah, they're basically just playing that so they don't lose from Afshar, which is really great. I don't know that they knew that was an Afshar. I think they're just assuming. Is there a reason to res the front one or the back one? I think it's better to res the back one. I don't actually know if it matters. I guess for inside job, but not really. Afshar still dunks on them. It stops them. I think we're just going to go score this out. We need the money. Giving somebody who wants to run this much bad publicity is an issue. I would love to get the Hornum down now. Let's see if they can punish us. But like, The former carry is pretty annoying. I don't think they can just tank it. This doesn't matter though. Like they run through this last click and it trashes their breaker, so they don't care. This does not stop an apocalypse. Sometimes it actually helps them because it stops their breaker from being trashed or stuck face down. You sacrifice to remove the bad pub. That's what it's made for. Let's go. Inside jobbing the remote. Yeah, that's an issue because we have to res both of these and then eat the border control. Yeah, we're gonna lose this agenda. Shit, it's so hard to protect these things. 6 damage, and we don't have punitive. Like that's the problem. So we res as they go through it. Then when we res the mouseless, so the mouse. This is what 6 damage. This is 7 damage. So it'll be their whole hand at least. That's kind of cute. Continue. So we could pop the border control here. And then they couldn't go back unless they have another inside job. Even then, they'd have to like draw in specifically inside job. So I think we will border control. But I don't think it's good. Right? Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh. Piss. No one's playing No One Home at the moment? No, nobody is. But No One Home is only tags their net damage, so I don't think it actually matters. I just think they're going to throw themselves at this, and on 3 cards we can't really threaten anything. Oh, Amakua too is an issue. Yeah, I think from this point we're going to lose. They're going to expose an ice, get 1 strength, and then run HQ, I think. Playing Deuces Wild. They have an Afshar here, so they know that we can't res through this. Saves you from Spike. Oh, you're right. Yeah, no, Neurospike. Yeah, you're totally right. I know what you mean. And they break this for 2, so we can't res that because then we're on 0. We have to pretend we have money. We're so close to a kill. We're pretty far away. Like, we still need 7 credits, and we need to draw another combo piece. Like, I don't think we're actually that close. And now that we can't deal with the Amakua, like now R&D is free. Archives is free. Right? And now we're going to get apocalypsed. Now we lose. Not much you can do. If anything, I think we actually like credit score this, but I think they might run this. I think we do credit, score, and then Neurospike. We can sacrifice the 6-point Neurospike. Yeah, maybe we could. No, not really. I don't think so. I'm convinced they have Apocalypse that I'm actually going to tempo Neurospike. Is this wrong? Because like we're weak to Apocalypse. Like they break everything for pennies. Some of it for free. You're 1 advancement, 2 crits away from the kill? No, we're way further. This only does 3 damage. Right? That's so bad. Like we advance this, we score, we Neurospike, it's only 3 damage. Are we doing it? I feel like we have to do it or we're just gonna get apocalypsed. If we can score CWP start a turn, you can sell SDS, sacrifice Neurospike. Advance and Morp. Hold on. Wait. I think, I'm wrong, right? So you score you advance, you get this, you score it. So we have 2 clicks left. You install this agenda, then you sacrifice. No, we're out of click. Yeah, no, we're out of click. Score, install Arbirth and SDS score neural. Yeah, you could use Oberth. We just don't have money. We just don't have money. And the problem is if we commit to this and clicking for credits, like we died to APAC. Yeah. Yeah, no, we can't do it. I'm going to do this. If we don't hit an APAC, so be it. Yeah, we hit an APAC. Hopefully they don't have another. You need 5 for Oberth and Neuro? Yeah. Because otherwise we could install this, install the agenda, then we'd have to advance it once, because when you res this, it would score, but then we need another click as well, right? The version of fun. Yeah, so we were going to be like absolutely ruined there with double diversion APOC. Like we would have been so bad. So at least we spent our money. Maybe they have another APOC now. We'll find out. It looks like they have another APOC now. 2 Doof and 1 APOC. But that's I don't think it's a huge surprise because they've gone through 30 cards of their deck. They've barely put pressure on us. They've gone through 3 daily casts and a class act. I think 2 Earthrise. Like they have everything. So now let's see if they run archives. Oh no, they're drawing. Okay. Once you click on it, you can score SDS from hand to snipe Amakua for value. Yeah, we could. I think that's only worth doing once we see the other 2 Amakuas. We haven't seen any traditional breakers. We haven't seen any boomerangs. And we've only seen 2 inside jobs. So like it's, you know, it's something. And installing this gives them, like, I think we actually do install this and just click for credits and just let them know it's that. Right? Like now they have to spend at least a click and 2 credits to deny us from this. They could have drawn into Apocalypse there. Again, they have filter draws with the class act. So at least if they draw once a turn, it's a really valuable draw. I think there are like spicy lines of play that I'm struggling to see. Could we score 2 agendas on a turn? Ah, that seems unreasonable. But I think trading this for an SDS is probably okay. Just to get rid of this. Yeah, I think it's probably not that bad. But I'm worried that we're going to just... This is going to threaten... I think they're APOCing us here because they don't want to deal with the Rashida. We're like, yeah, whatever. And maybe actually installing this that early is a problem. If we do get another like CityWorks project, sometimes we can surprise them with getting a lot of counters on a CityWorks. With the Tithonium. Yo, Sanger, thanks for dropping by. Trash the Oberth. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're getting APOC'd. I think there might be some place here. This is the only advanceable ice that lets us forfeit. Okay, pop that. Yeah, there you go. I'm surprised that they... maybe they do that first. Because of SDS. Yeah, that's probably fine. It costs them nothing. All right, here we go. What is their win condition on R&D? Do they have a Stargate? I don't think they have a Stargate. This is actually a really cool card. Because we can res it for free. That's kind of a nice surprise sometimes. I'm going to try something a bit daft. Because if they install a breaker and charge this, I don't know. No, it's not going to work out. They have exposed. It's a vanilla and R&D. Okay. So where's their Amakua? This is 5. That's actually really good. We actually have a fun play here. I'd gladly trade. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. If they run into this, they lose it. I don't think there's a reason not to res this. It's broken for free with bad publicity, but it eases their bad publicity if there's like trashables on top, like a spin doctor. Yeah, exactly. And they're not worried about this because we don't have credits, but I think we actually will trash their Amakua. Oh my god, getting rid of the bad publicity would be sick. So what does this do? Remove 1 bad publicity per agenda point with the forfeit agenda is worth. Gain 1 credit for each bad publicity removed. Yes, this is better than clicking for credits. So we'll trash this. Snap res ice was ban. We'll trash this for 3. We'll put 4 advanced hits on here. We'll advance 1. So we'll trash an Amakua, but then the SDS doesn't do anything. And I'm like a bit hesitant to just click for credits. I'm really hesitant to click for credits. Two, three, four. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just click for credits. I'm just like very frightened of the last. Oh, there's no number of diversions. No, we're clicking for credits. If they install another breaker, we'll combo this out. Oh no, this actually would have trashed the SDS. What am I thinking? No, we probably should have done it. No, that's on me. I thought this wouldn't connect for some reason. Okay, now they're actually making money. And before Rebirth to Steve, oh my god, Rebirth to Steve would be disgusting here. Like, so bad. Them trashing Spin Doctors is like not the worst for us because they're not actually gaining Amakua counters. But they are locking us. They haven't seen an agenda yet. I think this is an agenda. Either that or it's a Malapur. They're deciding whether they trash 4 or not. I think it's a Malapur. We've also seen 2 APOC, so they're in 3, 8. I think they have another APOC because we've seen no other influence. Oh, it's a TBTF. Okay, that's good. That's obviously good. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. We also could trash the hostile, which might be better. Can we just do the hostile? So if we do the hostile, remove one. So this will give us 2. No, we're short 1 click. We actually have to advance this once, right? Because it gives us an advancement token card. Place 1 advancement token on a card and 1 additional token for each agenda point the agenda is worth. So this would be 2, and then we can't click. So we have to too big to fail with the 3-pointer. But I think that's reasonable. Oh wait, we actually could neurospike them. We're just a bit short though, because at this point they might charge the remote server. I think we do just do this. Oh, undo click. Oh, that shows a lot. Because I think we can remove... Yeah, we actually can do too big to fail first, right? You have the kill? Wait, what? No. Yes. Yes. Wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, wait, we have the kill. We install Malapur. We res the Malapur. Then we forfeit. It adds... No, it only adds 4 agendas, right? Sacrifice is free. Sacrifice actually gains money. Thinking. Okay, hold on. We have a puzzle here. 1 advancement token a card, 1 additional token for each agenda point that was worth. So we sacrifice, you want to get 4 advancements. So we have to do install. No, we don't have a kill. But we can too big to fail first to remove 2 bad publicity and make more credits. That's what I'm thinking. If we pre-installed this, we'd have a kill, but we didn't. I'm doing the click because I wanted to do this first. Oh wait, then we still can't do it. No, we can. We actually removed bad publicity with sacrifice in a meaningful way. That's sick. That is literally amazing. We got a 2 bad publicity. We made 2 credits, scored an agenda. We had the Malapur in there. Yeah, we had pre-installed that, but then we don't have enough money. Just advance it twice this turn, but then they'll get, you know, another Amaku and get to 5 strength. That's the problem. And I don't think they'll pop this. I think they're just using this so they can deal with SDS. How many turtles in the bin? This is the final turtle. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I know. That's how I feel too. Checking archives. I think oh, it's just the ice, right? That they destroyed. We also only have a single neuro. Oh my god, a single neuro? We have some plays now. We definitely want to get ice on HQ. That's pretty good. How many deuces are out? How many falsifieds are out? Falsified. There's 1 falsified in the deck, and they need the money now. I'm going to pre-res both. I don't want to pre-res the Spin Doctor, actually. I'm not going to pre-res, because they could miss. We should have put down Spin Doctor first. I think most people would put it this way. And I think they're just going to get to 5 counters and charge this. I think they're respecting Tithonium heavily. But they can't trash anything. Oh, no, they can trash the Spin Doctor. But then they don't have clicks left. Wait, actually, yeah, that... Wait. Yeah, we're not paying 9 for this, are we? Oh, they use Bankroll. That's very clever. Yeah, we couldn't have surprised them. I'm glad we didn't. Oh, this is really interesting. Dedication? Wait, this is actually really interesting. Sacrifice? Oh, it's only 2 cards. Never mind. A Spin Doctor would have been better there. They can trash that if they want. They probably won't because of the counter. So we do install advance, they would have to do draw, run. You need an Oberth sacrifice. Well, no, we can score this agenda out and win. I think we give them this one and then we score the next one. Right, if they steal this, it's fine. We just jammed the second one. But yeah, we should have put the Oberth back in 2 because it's another fast advance piece so that we can kill them in 2 turns instead of 3. If you resist his own team, you can't steal. Yeah, that's huge. Thank you. If they do that, you can sack hostile. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, if they run this, we get counters on this. Yeah, you're totally right. I think they're just going to apocalypse us. I think it's the last card in hand. It is the last card in hand. It's an apocalypse. Are you kidding me? No. No. Oh, no. It's okay. We planned this, right? I don't think their deck has any more programs. 3 bankrolls, 3 Amakuas. And we're threatening a win here. So they have to basically get a lucky agenda off the top that's not an SDS. So there's only 1 agenda in the whole deck that can win on top of R&D. There's only 1 agenda. A lot of trashables. Only 1 agenda. Some trashables. Is there 1 deuces? I don't think so. Wow. Oh my God, what a game. Whoa, whoa. Thanks for the game. So all that's left in the deck, there's an SDS on top of it. Any more programs? They also didn't play Boomerang. The deck has no boomerangs. Yeah, I smelled APAC so hard. Oh, wild. Okay, they have Sneak Door and Eater. I think Eater's a really good inclusion for the deck. But yeah, the only agenda... Oh, wait, there's no more agendas they could have stolen? Oh, yeah, of course not. Wait. Because we forfeited 1. I was looking at 2. Yeah, no, there was actually no agendas they could have stolen the deck unless they cranked down their Eater and then hit an SDS or a Sneak Door, right? But they're not on Boomerang. Oh, for sure. No, whoa, that's so wild. I wonder why that is. I guess they can't do it on the APOC turn, right? Because it like, you just don't have enough clicks. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Cool stuff. Neat deck. Oh man, yeah, yeah. That value, Neuro, I think, is the only thing that kept us in that game. Because again, 2 diversions and an APOC, we can't deal with that. Why not? Catch you. All right, we got another deck to test out. All right, and that's this one, which NB Kelly played. I think there's another deck that's actually really cool, but I don't know if people are going to prepare for it. I don't think it's hard to, but I think Rotage played a Fear the Massive Shaper deck at a lat, if I'm not mistaken. And that was pretty cool to see. And it actually went pretty far. But once you get to the top cut with open deck list, people knew what he was up to. And I think they just like double iced HQ and didn't ice R&D and called it a day. But still, that deck had some pretty competitive shots. Oh, it's Tau. Exactly. Sorry, it was Tau. And that makes more sense because of they're switching. NBK's lurking in chat. Yo, how's it going, NBK? This is a weird deck. This is Reality Plus, a 40 card minimum deck, but this deck is running 9 agenda points. That's, you can get away with 6, but we're going up to 9 for good reasons. The write-up on the list is beautiful. It's the tilt write-up, right? And we tried to play this deck before, and I think its ability is very strong. On Take a Tag, it's 2 cards or draw 2. And it's reimagining this instead of Tightrope, Tilt Rope. And Tightrope was this old archetype. Let's see if we can find some old Tightrope Asmari decks. Asmari was a really strong 40 card deck size. Tightrope. From back in the day that this was eventually banned for being very, very good. And the idea why they call this tightrope, from my remembering, is that at the beginning of the game, things look terrible. In the middle of the game, things look really bad. You're bleeding agenda points. Your ice is pretty porous, but eventually it all comes together and you get this pretty strong lock. It's like walking this tightrope. Man, that GIF, you can watch that forever. And this is the modern version of it. And you see, you do have a kill package, you do have hard-hitting news, and even C-Source back in the day. And then there was some really strong single tag punishment here. While this deck didn't actually have any sort of meat damage to kill you with, it had exchange of information, which is a very potent win condition based off the fact that it runs a lot of one-pointers. 15 minutes is the easiest one-pointer to score in NBN, let alone to take out of the runner's score area. And then Quantum Predictive Model is very difficult to steal behind cards like Data Raven back in the day. A lot of cards that gave you a lot of tags. A lot of this ice is very, very tag-based. Yeah, not a lot, some of it. And then he just played a good value game on 40 cards. This was after they banned currents, so I'm pretty sure, because scarcity was like the big thing in Asmari. It was so good, and this ability just gave you so much money throughout the game. I played a variation of this deck at PAX, got third. Yo, nice. This deck tilted me so bad just reading it. So this is the version that is in Asmari, and you notice there's some interesting changes here. Let's talk about some of them. Firstly, the operation suite. I think specifically MB Kelly says the seamless launch is a bit strange, if I'm not mistaken. I read this write up a couple days ago. Oh no, yeah, questionable includes. Okay, count it. So it's kind of weird. It lets you score a single advance 5-3, and single advancing a Bologna is like, you don't really see that in NBN, so sometimes people will goof and not run this with enough credits. You have 2 public trail, which is our C-Source, and this card is only 2 credits a lot of the times when it connects, and that's really good. And it's hard. Even the runner loses 8 credits and you paid 4. That's generally a pretty good trade if you're ahead on board, where you could do that, have a good credit swing, and then jam in the remotes. We only have a single hard-hitting news, which is something that actually is a huge detriment if our opponent knows the deck list. Because this is the sort of thing that you're expecting that's in their opening hand all the time, but we only have 1, and we don't have a consulting visitor any way to tutor it up. We have a single market forces, which is not very good with public trail, but if they go aggressively tag me, which there are actually tag me decks showing up in the competitive meta at APAC, this can be a really strong card. It's not closed accounts, and closed accounts is... No, not in this deck. Okay, cool. And then otherwise, we have a single price deck. It's weird, but we do have an exchange of information. So if somebody goofs it up and runs into this or tomorrow's headline, which is so hard to respect tomorrow's headline, you can exchange of information for the win. You have Spin Doctor, which just makes the deck probably better. Rashida NGO, and you have Daily Quests, and this is actually a hard card to play. I think this is called out in the deck list of being like, you need to protect this really early. You can't jam it turn 1, because if you can't protect it, the runner just destroys this and so much of your economy comes down with it. So you have to wait a bit. Agenda Suite's also kind of weird because we have a real 3-pointer attached to fake 3-pointers, and you generally don't like combining those 2 ideas because the runner can still win the game on 3 agendas, and that's one of the big benefits of food. It generally means they need 4 agendas to win, but they're on 3. Our ice, interesting things. Funhouse is so bad. Please give his Ravens back. Yeah, we have Funhouse, which is kind of bad. It's at least a lot better in Reality Plus, where it's 2 credits for 2 cards. Just about whenever somebody hits this, people aren't playing Hunting Grounds, and it means our quantum predictive models are largely very safe. I think NB Kelly wrote in the write-up about like double advancing 15 minutes or quantum predictive models behind those. Just not that we needed to, but they're more likely to run, which is great. We have IP block and ping. Ping's not very good against Amakua, but it is good and annoying, and people have to play around it. And we have 3 Mouseless, which is a pretty taxing piece of ice, barring that leech that we've been seeing in the last couple of games. But this is really good. The tag makes us so cheap to res on a face check, and it's pretty difficult for a lot of people to break. Finally, weird include Sync BRE, because we just need to play taxing things, and I don't love this card. I think with a lot of 419 around, I don't love playing Trace Ice. That first, sometimes you can spend, like making news back in the day, you can actually spend 2 credits to boost that to Trace 6, and you'll get your money back if it fires. But not a very strong ice. At least 6 strength is hard. They're probably going to have to trace through it. And if they don't have Link, they're spending a lot of money on that. You have Thoth, which is terrible. I really don't like this ice. It's pretty bad against anybody unless they're going tag me. I think NB Kelly says in the write-up that at least you res this for 5. Yay. These subroutines are so unimpactful. It's annoying throughout the whole game, but the fact that this is included over a 3rd Funhouse is really strange to me. And these subroutines don't do anything unless they go really tag me, and then you have a huge credit lead. Maybe Market Forces help you that. I feel like I'd love to run Hydra in the slot. I think if they hit a Hydra and they're not prepared for it, you res it for like what? 3 credits, if I'm not mistaken? 3 credits? So this could easily be a Hydra, because Hydra gives a tag and refunds you 5 credits. I don't know why I thought this in here. I guess it's more annoying over time. And then Turnpike is just fine. It's just annoying. It's good. Thoth will always stick a tag. Funhouse gives the runner a choice. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's one of the differences. Funhouse, they can end the run. Thoth can't, but I don't know. Do you know what also doesn't give him a choice? Hydra. But hey, this deck did well. Yeah, counter surveillance eye is not gonna be good into it. Thoth is excellent versus CS deck. It is very good if they're going very heavily tag me. That is for sure. As long, again, as you have a credit differential, which can be difficult. The problem is the Funhouse will always cost you 5 credits at first res because the runner never takes the tag at the point. Almost never. And 5 credits for end the run is never a thing you want to play in Netrunner. At least this card is better later. It's a weird deck. It's a deck that I would look at it and think this has nothing to it. I don't think it'll work that well. I think a big part of this deck is that people are misplaying, and I don't think that they're goofing it up. But there are good surprises in the deck. I think tomorrow's headline is going to be always a hard card to play around. QPM is pretty tricky. The single price deck is also could in theory be like an Amaze Amusements. I think the price deck is cute, but I think there's a lot of opportunity for your opponent to misplay into this deck. So we'll give it a shot. I'm going to pull this in, and then I will enter this deck into, what's it called? Keyhole. Just give me 1 second. What is the deck code? 55486. Okay, Keyhole, just give it a second. It should update in a couple seconds. It takes a bit, but it should be up there if you're watching on Keyhole. How many of y'all actually use Keyhole? I hope it's useful. It's only for people watching on Twitch. So most people watch the VOD. It's useless, but it is what it is. It's still really, really good. I don't think I said this too before, but oh, you use it. Oh, awesome, Macaroni. We talked about Euro Africa's being streamed. Ed is going to be streaming it. It should be on the Nisei channel, but we will be streaming. I'll be hosting the America's Continentals, which is on the last weekend of this month, the 28th and 29th, if I'm not mistaken. It won't be strum on this channel. It'll be streamed on Nisei's, but we will be doing this stream, and we have some nice guests joining us for commentary. So hopefully tuning in for that. All right, Alice, 64 card Alice. No idea what's going on here. Kind of hard to get a read. If their deck is not that consistent, it's hard to put them as a certain archetype. I feel like Alice's ability got so less strong with the release of Spin Doctor. Honestly, with this hand, I think we're just going to put Mouseless on Archives. Hopefully we draw an ice for HQ, and we'll call it a day. Oh yeah, we played Dano the other week, I think. Ping good enough. All right. So we'll put this in Archives, and then we never have to worry about Alice, because Anarch has no good way to deal with this. Only 64 cards. Yeah, 64 is a weird number. Let's run. We could put this on HQ. In theory, if they like drop a Stargate turn 1, I don't care that much. And we got to know, anytime they hit this, like we can draw 2 cards. Like there's a lot of tempo if they run into our ice poorly. Might be untiltable. They could be untiltable. They're generally pretty positive. I don't want to. Exclusive party. Whoa. Whoa, in a huge deck? That is so much less consistent. At least maybe that's a pseudo card draw you need. Rashid off the top. That's a good hit. Ooh, NGO. They're trashing all the stuff we want. Okay. There's so they really are. I don't have enough time to interact with them. I don't want to drop the Spin Doctor now. I guess we do just to be aggressive, but I don't think this deck is that aggressive. Like their economy is in shambles. We could draw hard-hitting news now. I think I'm just going to draw once. Yeah, that's probably fine. And we'll put this on R&D. We would have loved to get the Rashida behind this. And then maybe next turn we'll Spin Doctor if we draw an ice. Okay. That's a pretty slow card. I feel good about that. And it's a resource. Also committed to game plan, known only to them. We'll see. So we can do IP block on the remote. Yeah, I think we'll draw with the Doctor because we're at a pretty good board state where we can start scoring out. Alice doesn't have Link. It's kind of a bummer to get this down on the table early, because I love to keep it against Alice's ability. But again, the Doctor, and we'll just get this brewing for now. Smart, we're giving them 1 credit. Again, the longer the game goes, the better this card gets. It looks like they want to poke Centrals. That's fine. These will probably die. I'm going in. Best of luck. Best. This is what I don't like. Like running Alice's ability while there's a Spin Doctor on the table, that seems a bit silly. This is going to hit pretty hard. And this gives us card draw too, so that we have more options to figure out what to throw into archives. I didn't show this ability, but basically she's a 50 card minimum, and she says the corp, when they run archives, the corp must trash a card from HQ. It's our choice, and that fires before the access, so they actually get to see the card. So they lose a leech. I think we're going to draw 2 cards because we have access to the daily quest, so we can protect it pretty easily. And that's not what we wanted. We made a credit. DQ behind eye blocks? No, we were going to put another card in front of there. I'm not just going to do this into DQ. So throw out something here. Honestly, I think we'll just throw out the exchange. I think we have 2 exchanges. Yeah, we have 2 exchanges, and it doesn't really do anything now. That wasn't too bad. That was actually kind of bad. We had to clear a tag. They gave us a credit. We drew 2 cards. That's a lot of tempo on 1 card. Okay, we'll draw 1. We can probably trash our smartware. I don't think we want to do that. Honestly, at this point, I think we will use... I think we can get rid of these 2. I think we just do credit. We could consider doing credit. They're an exchangeable 50 minutes and trail in hand. Yeah, well, they need to steal a 3-pointer. And I guess we have another one coming. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really, like, they're not going to steal Bologna. If they steal a food, I don't think they're going to be scoring that soon. I think we'll just try and score this out. So I'm going to do, I think what we'd like to draw is Hedge Fund and the Rashida. We'll put this into the remote server. Seamless launch out. I don't know. Pitch food, score 15 EOI? Yeah, maybe we actually could pitch the food. I think you're right that we have a good thing here to pitch the food. That's a good reason why keeping EOI was good. Whoa. This is going to give us 2 credits. They're going to actually take the tag. Running with 1 credit against NBNI seems a bit rough, right? A lot of this stuff is tag based. So that is wild. Oh, that's not the, I thought that was Archives interface. It's not. Okay. Oh, my stomach is starting to feel really bad. This is not good. Okay. I actually started to feel really bad right now. Okay. All right. So we can score this out. I don't think we need to, but we can. And now we have a server. That was lame. I don't like that word. Okay. So now they have a tag. We could have trashed the smartware. I don't know if they're going to load anything on it. The crypt. I guess it says archives on it. Let's go. Tilt confirmed. That's exactly. Oh, we've got a res daily quest. Sorry. I was trying not to. My stomach is really not good right now. So they're firing this. I think we're going to draw 2. Yeah, we definitely should have pre-res that. Now they have 2 tags. The market forces is getting better and better. What does this do? Let them tutor a virus? That ice isn't stopping me. All right. I'm going to throw out the daily quest here. Yeah, we forgot to res that. That's obviously a huge mistake. What did I eat? I feel really poorly suddenly. Do we really want to stop them to ping? Wow, we have no money? Where did our money go? Running at 0 is better, especially versus Gold Farmer. You can bounce off Gold Farmer. There's no Gold Farmer in this meta. So they're 3 credits. Sorry, I'm falling apart here. We have double ping. We can just trash their stuff. I don't think we really want to. Ryder, hijack your credits. It doesn't actually do anything because we didn't build a new server. Oh, they trashed it. Oh, that's where our money went. Oh man, I really don't feel good. I'm okay with them running through this, I'll be honest. I think we're just gonna do credit. Ugh. Channel Matthew McConaughey when I feel poorly too. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this game, I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't know if I can make it much longer. Oh, this is not good. They're tagged. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll have to cancel the stream. I'm feeling really poorly suddenly. We'll be back in a week. Got a case of the botch test? Honestly, it feels like I ate something bad. I do not feel well. Let's see how long we can hold on for. I think we can maybe close this game out. We don't close the game out fast, though. This is not a fast deck. Yeah, I don't want you in there. We might be able to hold on. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you. No, it's just stomach. I have a pretty irritable stomach. It hasn't been the bad. It was really bad last night as well, which is something that hasn't happened in a long time. Once I cut out like dairy and meat, it's been a lot more stable. But last night was really bad. And it feels like that right now. We'll hold on a bit. If it gets really bad, I'll just cut the stream and run. This is, yeah, no, this used to be much more common. I'm not even reading what they're writing, unfortunately. I am in my own world. Stream from the toilet, it's fine. Oh, it's not fine. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to call it. I really don't feel good. Thanks everyone for dropping by. I'm gonna cut this one really short. Thanks to everyone we're playing against. We'll be back in a week. Watch or join in Euro Africas if you're playing. Best of luck. See you there.